Speaking of DDG, her and Halle just had a baby.
Absolutely.
Super silent, private, didn't give a fuck about social media noise. I was watching this interview she had where she was talking about it. She sounds very young, by the way. Like, it's a little bit awkward listening to her speak.
Like her voice?
Yeah.
Her voice or her content of her...
No, her voice. Like, she just sounds very, like, young.
Childish.
Yeah, bro. Like, almost to the point of it was like, why are y'all asking her these questions, bro?
Yeah.
But long story short, somebody had asked her if DDG was her first boyfriend, and her answer didn't make me seem very convinced that it wasn't her first boyfriend. But either way, congrats to them and their union. But it's the Bullshit for Your Health podcast, episode 109. You guys know what the fuck it is. It's been a very long time, but hey, we're back. We are slightly awake. I'm still waking up. It is 8:45 p.m. on the East Coast. A nigga flew back from the West Coast last week. Had a wonderful birthday party. Tete was off having a wonderful baby shower. I've had multiple days of trying to get over my jet lag, but we're here. We're energized. We're going to give you all a great fucking show. Real quick, can you turn off that heater? Because I feel like I'm getting a lot of background noise, and if you guys aren't cold, we are not going to torture the listeners here. No, you got to press the red button. Just turn it off. Oh, it's off. It's off. Got you.
Turn off a heater?
And then that one right there. If it gets cold, let me know. But we want as little feedback noise as possible. Again, it's the Bullshit for Your Health episode. It's the Bullshit for Your Health podcast, episode 109. We've got Quentin on the mic. Tete on the mic.
I'm
Jabbar
back.
on the mic. At some point, Devontae would be in the room, and Donica should be calling in shortly. So all of your season 3 hosts are here, primed, and ready to fucking go. But oh my gosh, guys, it's been such a long time since we've been in this room, since we've been potting. Anything new? Any updates you guys want to reveal? Get off your chest before I start diatribing on some of my observations of the East Coast, the healthcare system, and just affluent white people in general.
Yeah, I mean, shit. I think the pod knows my life has taken a turn for the better, you know. So
Hell yeah,
life is good. I have sold my soul. We'll talk about that later. Joined the Hospital Corporation of America.
Oh yeah,
And
I was like,
no. It's definitely a soul-selling career move, and I feel it every day.
You're like the hospital Illuminati?
More like the lobbyists.
Oh.
The hospital lobbyists that keep our healthcare laws trash so that they can continue making profit off people's worst days ever.
or like if you look at this is going to be a very hyperbolic simile or analogy. If you look at nurses as slaves or like slave workers, right?
Yeah.
Travel nurses are the field slaves. You know what I'm saying? We go into uncharted territory. We have very little to guide us on those journeys, and we just get the roughest assignments, all of that shit, right?
Yeah.
Whereas like your HCA or your workers who are, what do you call it? Not travel. What do you call in-house traveling again? What is that called?
Oh, what do you call it?
You can grab a
The internal contractors.
Right.
Internal contractors.
Yeah. Internal contractors. They're more like house slaves, you know?
Damn.
They're not fully fledged staff. You know what I'm saying? But they have a few more updates.
Is it like they indentured servants or like just how slaves works?
No, I feel like indentured servants would be your
Staff
PRN.
nurses.
No, your PRN staff nurses. Your part-timers, you know? Your full-timers are...
Staff nurses are indentured to me.
Shit.
They're beholden to benefits and PTO.
Feudal. Your feudal people. But no, that's cool. That's cool, but like how... did you want to save that for the health?
Yeah, we can
topic?
We can get into that slightly into the health
okay,
topic.
cool.
Other than that, man.
Go on this side. We'll share the
Other
mics
than
too.
that, nothing new. Just grinding, working.
That's the clip speed. But no, that's what's up. What about you, Quinn? Anything?
Man, I feel like nothing's really going on new. I'm just sick of the bullshit. America's bullshit.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get into it.
Yeah.
I didn't put you onto the notepad, So you saw the topics for today, but
That's cool.
yeah, man. What's been pressing you?
I think it's obviously what's going on in Palestine. It's I feel like a lot of desensitization has been like just happening overall. It's been happening for years, but at this point, it's beyond conflicts. It's where our attention spans are getting worse. Education systems are failing us. It's like everything around us is crumbling. And
institutions are failing.
We're ready for
as some Republicans
something else.
would say.
Yeah, thanks to them. Fuck them niggas.
No system has stood or withstood the test of time. Most major nations have fallen. Yeah. So is it time that we're seeing another?
Yeah, I'm ready for it.
Another one, but no. We'll get to that a little bit later. Devontae, have you had any revelations? Have you had any experiences? Have you had any life events that you want to get off? I mean, it's been a while since we've seen you in the room.
I ain't. What?
Get into the mic, nigga.
What's new, man?
Always so afraid. Been doing this now for like 3 fucking years.
Stop drinking.
Oh,
Hell yeah, yeah.
okay.
Mine was telling me at the party that you weren't sipping. I didn't even recognize. I was too busy sipping myself.
And yeah, and socializing was your party, but yeah.
Yeah,
Damn.
I was working.
That's
on
what's
them.
up, man.
I haven't had a drink since December 31st.
So,
Hell yeah.
are you doing dry January, or are you are you trying to go sober for like? Is there a time limit? Is there a
I
time
want to
span?
do
or
all of
just fuck it?
January,
Okay.
and then on the first week of February, I'm going to New Orleans for that bachelor party.
Whose bachelor party?
Nathaniel's.
Oh,
You know,
okay, yeah.
You feel like you're gonna take up.
So this isn't more. This is less of a break, more of a sabbatical to rest your liver, because you know you're going to be using it pretty frequently.
Actually,
a drinker, ain't he?
Nate's a
Every-
partier.
Yeah.
Let's just say that respectfully.
but like I saw him this weekend. He was having some drinks at the bar, and I didn't drink at all. We were actually at a bar, and I just ordered a Sprite so I could have something that I didn't feel like was water.
I feel like sparkling water for me does that. It gives me that little bit of placebo effect.
Yeah.
How do you feel now? Like, do you feel better? Do you feel
It's
different?
good to wake up and
Do
be
you
like, I'm not gonna be hungover.
You have less anxiety at all? They say
You
something.
know-
like-
you know
I mean, I don't
what's
even know how
crazy?
often were you drinking prior to.
You know what's crazy? I was telling somebody this. I don't feel as sad or like depressed because I'm sorry. Yeah, and I'm less irritable because it is a depressant.
Yeah.
And
Facts.
you know, I realize like when I'm depressed and sad, like it manifests as irritability. So like I'm less irritable and I think more rationally. And I think like honestly, it'll just like it sounds crazy, but like I think I want to find other things to do when I'm bored or leisurely or when I hang out with people other than drinking. So that's kind of what it was for me.
That doesn't sound crazy. That sounds healthy.
Yeah. So So like I just really want. So it's like really finding other ways for me cope with boredom.
Hell yeah.
And so like I picked up a couple books and like
Anything interesting so far?
I haven't even read them, but I ordered them from Amazon. So like at least I'll start and then like I'm looking at taking some art classes. I need to freaking call back.
I'm gonna be painting like Brad Pitt.
No, actually, the VMFA offers an iPhone photography class.
Okay.
So like I want to learn to take like really cool pictures on your iPhone.
Hell yeah.
Because you already have one. So it's like so I was thinking about doing that.
Nice.
It's giving me a lot of time to research and Virginia has quite a bit of waterfalls and stuff like that, and I want to see some of them.
Shenandoah Mountain fucking region or whatever you call it.
So like it's really when you're not like hungover or like actively drinking, and in that fog,
like a lot of things.
it kind of gives you time to at least think about things you want to do. And I'm in there like thinking about things I want to do, and then it's like been good because those empty calories aren't on me right now.
Yeah, I felt that. I fucking weighed myself today and was like, damn.
Yeah.
I was 205, 202.
Yeah.
So and then like I'm like 17, like 18 pounds down. So
Hell
it's
yeah.
like
Hell yeah.
Just from cutting out
Nah. This is from I've been doing like some extreme fitness.
The morning-
Yeah, you've been doing
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
All right.
That's
Proud of you,
what's up.
Devontae.
That's
Round of
what's
applause.
up.
Round
That's
of
what's
applause. Yeah. It's just crazy to me how you do this shit after No Nonsense November, after Dry December. But whatever. We're glad for progress.
Hey, we all
We
have
shall
our own
check in
timelines.
at the end of January to see how you feel, see how you do, because we are always proud of our brother for making progress.
You did dry December too.
So I didn't drink for 2 months. I didn't drink for November, didn't drink for December, but I was partaking in the ganja again for December. I'm on the West Coast. What do you fucking think, bro? Did you just see? Oh!
But you didn't smoke all in November, did you?
No, I didn't do nothing in November. Completely sober.
Yeah.
Apparently California, I don't know if this was true or not, but California is going to be allowing their residents to, if you work in the state of California, you can no longer be drug tested for marijuana for employment. Like, that's...
Finally, some real progress.
That's
You
a
know,
win.
it's one thing to legalize it in your state, but to make it illegal for your job to test you, that's a big step.
Yeah, I think it's like, as we would say, like I definitely understand it, and I think like it's good. How can I say? It's like you would hope all the rational adults know, just like how alcohol is. Like when you're at the work, leave it alone.
Right.
And
Wait,
stuff
what?
like saying like, some people like, oh, people get high on the job and all that. But I was saying like it's the same thing like for alcohol. People could drink on the job, and we just hope that people use.
been getting drunk on the job.
Yes.
And it's a problem.
Yes, it's a problem.
But they get fired.
People are doing meth on the job, bro. Like,
People are doing cocaine on the job.
no, but dead ass, because a lot of these substances, I mean, it's so ironic, but the least harmful schedule, I guess it's still a schedule.
Yeah, 1 or 2.
In certain
Federally, right? It's still a Schedule
it's
1.
still Schedule 1, yeah, I haven't Schedule 2
It's
yet.
crazy.
Out of every Schedule 1 drug for sure, but all the way to Schedule 3, in my opinion, it's got the least, the least potential for addiction, but also harm. You know what I'm saying? Like the amount of cannabis you have to consume to physically harm yourself is such an
so much.
unquantifiable
Yeah.
level.
The only
versus-
thing, it is.
like my nigga, for your average person, you drink a gallon of liquor, or nigga, a liter and a half of liquor. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
You looking at some pretty poor consequences. You
Well,
know?
it's like-
And I mean, honestly, I don't think technically you couldn't smoke the amount that you need. You'd have to edible
you
it.
have to ingest it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's what
They're,
you.
look, and they're getting close to finding that number.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
it's like what you
Niggas
always
are
said.
testing.
Yeah, bruh.
Yeah.
And then
bruh. And some of the lemonades they got over there, nigga, like, oh, this is a thousand grams. Nigga, what?
I will say-
milligrams, right? No, grams, nigga.
I will say the biggest
What?
concern now is with the advent of, just edibles becoming more popular. There's ways to ingest it. Children are a concern now. That's my biggest concern right now.
But
though.
you know what? Teach your kids how to read. Cause
Well, I
what
mean,
the
it's
fuck-
not just children that can read. It's 2-year-olds.
No,
3-year-olds.
yeah. But if your
Yeah.
2-year-old's getting into your weed,
It's more your
Oh
responsibility.
yeah, absolutely. Just like when your 2-year-old gets into
it's
your
like
guns.
that law. Yeah, exactly.
it's absolutely-
because
it's
now
absolutely
in
your
certain
parents'
states,
fault.
if your child gets into your gun closet and shoots somebody, they'll now charge the parent.
As they should.
Because
Absolutely.
guns are supposed to be locked away.
You're supposed
just
to have
yeah.
a layer like Batman.
But no, the only
nigga you
and,
want to
like,
be
I
Batman.
kinda-
Like shit.
I agree with you. Like and it's like especially with like the consequences of weed. Because the thing is,
It's racist, bro. Like,
well, no,
like,
the thing
straight
with
up.
like the dangerousness of weed, like the only thing that I've heard people in my profession talk about is, oh, it's called psychosis for some people, but we also know those who are predisposed to it. It's
Most
like,
likely.
yes, sadly that
There, point blank period, there is no explanation for the illegality of marijuana
Oh, for
to this
sure.
extent other than racism. Like, other than what do you call it? Corruption of police departments to be able to
lock away black and
lock
brown
away
people.
black and brown people, or people in general, to keep the prison industrial complex going. Like, it's
like
it don't
you
make no
said,
sense.
Because that's like the one thing the guy was talking to me. He was like, "Oh, I think the weed is causing some of these psychotic breaks," and it's kind of like what Jabari said. Like, sadly, probably expedited it, but it was probably going to happen.
Yeah.
You probably going to start talking to people that aren't there. The one thing I do tell my patients is, please stop once you're
But
out.
I'm
'Cause
gonna
it
keep it a band. I'm gonna keep it a band though. Anecdotally speaking, I have met individuals who have schizoaffective disorders or bipolar psychosis disorders, and they'd be like, "The weed calm me down." It'd be when that weed's not weed. When that
K2.
weed spice K2, you know. But for real, like,
Then they'd be like, I'm talking to God.
Because like there are there's different types. And here's the thing about weed too that's so fucking frustrating is that it is a drug. It's a plant. So there's a psychoactive component, but there's also a rehabilitative component, right? With CBD.
Yeah.
So a lot of your indicas are going to be more body high, less brain psychoactive.
I mean, yeah, it's what you said years ago. If we could legalize it and allow people to know what they're consuming, it makes it
like,
better.
literally, like on the West Coast again, that's how that shit is looked at. Like you can get weed with a little instruction manual that says, "How do you want to feel? Hungry, sleepy, happy." Like, well, like what do you want, nigga? This is what you take. This is how much you take, and on average, this is what you get. Now, if you're more predisposed to this type of situation, panicking or whatever, you might not want to take this much, or you might not want to take this type of marijuana. And like that's the science of the drug.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, when you look at things from a non-scientific basis, a lot of times, and with ill intent, let's just be honest.
Yeah.
A lot of people get hurt.
Hey, I did meet a family yesterday actually on my shift that actually uses. Now they do use Delta 9, but they use it to control
seizures
and help. No, this is for their dementia patient of mother.
Sundowning?
Severely demented, had issues with sundowning, issues with sleep, issues with eating. They use 2 strains. They use a sativa Delta 9 syrup that they found online for the daytime, and she's calm, she's happy. She's excited, she eats, and at nighttime they use an indica. She sleeps for 12 hours a night.
Dog.
Yo, they said they've tried Haldol, they've tried Seroquel, they've tried all the drugs that you would expect dementia patients to use
to keep them
sedated. And it doesn't work.
And the thing, look, real quick, and the thing about a lot of those antipsychotics that you use to kind of help behavior have other harmful effects on like your heart.
Absolutely.
You know, they start shaking.
Oh yes, I think they had those symptoms too. That's what they said.
One of the nurse practitioners, he was talking about like, man, I gotta, God, this man needs Thorazine, but he was like, I hate it. It's really killing this man in the long term. But he was like, so like you're right, like. Or Haldol's awful for a lot of people.
Not even killing, but like you know those extra extra permeable symptoms. What's that shit when like
people have the tardive dyskinesia?
Yeah, tardive dyskinesia when you start doing the crazy shit,
or like your tongue, you can't stop moving your tongue,
or you start or you look like you seasoned, but you're not
your
seasoned.
jaw's shaking.
Bro,
they have to like.
There are so many off-label effects to these psych meds.
But like. I was talking to a nurse practitioner that prescribes it, and he was like, I was like, man, it's really sad. But then he was like, yeah, it's awful. But he was like, what's the other alternative? Yeah, alternative. Allowing them to be harmful to others in the community, allowing them to live and be florally psychotic. Because like y'all work in the ER, and when some people they're manageable when they're florally psychotic, but I'm pretty sure y'all have done it long enough where y'all like.
But unfortunately,
you need to be chemically restrained like yesterday.
The alternative is marijuana. Find your right strain and get it popping
for certain individuals. But unfortunately, I like the spectrum of mental health that we have, that we recognize at this point in time in America, is so wide and varied. But I don't know. You've seen it in the ER, like.
Yeah.
Listen, I just had. Oh my god!
Have you had to like?
I know. I can tell you guys this off mic. I recently had a family member, okay, get fucking taken up and almost put on a 72-hour. Wait, what is it?
A family member?
Yes, almost put on
became a psych hold.
Almost became a psych hold because the shit they were saying sounded grandiose. And then when I got the call saying, "Hey, player, they're saying this. Is this true?" I'm like, "Oh no, yeah, this is true." I don't know why they were doing that, what they got caught doing, but like what they're saying right now is true. And it was like, "Oh, okay," because we was about to. No, I know what y'all was about to fucking do. Exactly, right? It sounded like we about to get them a fucking shot in the ass, right? But the problem is, think about this: you give that person a shot in the ass. You try to come talk to them later. they still are saying what they're saying, but now they're a little more sedated. You're like, oh, this don't sound right. So I'm gonna keep doing it. But when in all eventuality, like they're telling their truth. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, this is their first occurrence with this. Why are we giving them this high-powered medication when, like, my nigga, like, give them a little bit of, like.
Advent.
I've now spent enough time in enough ERs where sometimes when the provider just goes straight for the antipsychotic, you're like, you got a little bit of a low
power.
No, you know what it is? They're just over it.
But
it's ER fatigue, man.
But B52, can we try a little, let's try a little Anrex? You know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. Like,
I ain't gonna lie, man.
Let's see if they're.
I ain't gonna lie, and that's just.
Have y'all like? Look, I was gonna ask y'all because I've been doing the ECO evals for Henrico part time.
Yeah.
Are there some people that like as soon as they get in there with the ECO, y'all like, yeah, they gotta be medicated. There's no way that.
No, there's sometimes you get ECO in, it's like don't take him out the fucking handcuffs until you got a needle in his arm. like what is wrong with you?
You've had to like literally while they're handcuffed.
Nah, bro. Yeah, we're not taking no chances. But some of it's just fatigue. Like, yo, February.
That nigga looked like Dave Bautista, but sat in the sun for 42 hours.
Right.
Yeah, don't let that nigga free.
I don't care what he's talking about.
So you literally give them a shot while they're still in the handcuffs.
He could be talking about butterflies and rainbows.
Bro.
I don't care.
The craziest part about those situations, with those types of patients is those patients know they're crazy. A lot of times, those patients will just be like, "Just get over with, man. I'm trying to go to sleep."
Yeah, for real.
Like you know what I'm saying?
You know this. One of
and don't give it to me in my butt, nigga.
The providers told me that they don't play about that. I ain't no homosexual.
Right.
We're just giving you it. No, one of the providers said actually, and y'all probably seen it. Once they sleep, they're actually more pleasant. Like a provider.
Oh no, sleep is a big issue.
Yeah, he was like, because once they've been up for like 2 or 3 days manic, it's like okay, we just gave them the shot. They're the most pleasant. Yeah. At least there still could be delusional, but they're more pleasant.
Well, that and that's a true sign. Okay, we're gonna get off. I don't know how we got on this tangent, but
that's a good transition.
That's a criteria for what inclusion in house, whatnot. Like, did the person you get, how are they presenting? Is this nigga somebody who smells like shit, been up for 3 days, is complaining that they haven't eaten for 3 days, has tangential thought, pressured speech, and is talking the stimuli that's not there? Okay, maybe our first round of antipsychotic isn't a bad idea, right?
Shit.
But if this is a person who's come from a volatile situation that maybe had an argument and they're presenting with aggression, but they have a clear reason to present with aggression. I've seen this happen too. And then they're like, "Don't give me that shit. I'm just pissed off right now. Let's maybe try some what do you call it? De-escalation tactics, right? Sometimes, as Tete was talking about, you get the ER fatigue, especially
ER fatigue.
Let's be honest. In Baltimore, I saw this a lot when you're a different color and you not necessarily want to deal with some shit, or you're low-key scared of some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I've literally heard that fear makes a person medicate.
Yeah, bro. I there's been situations where like someone will come, "Hey, we gotta go," and I'll come help, and then we're sitting there, and in the amount of time it takes for me to get over there, get the vial drawn up, and I'm sitting there watching this happen, and the security guard who gets paid $850 is de-escalating better than anybody else in the situation just because the security guard is black and
he understands this. I've had that happen.
No, I'll definitely look at the nurse and go, "You still giving this?" If you want, it's your chart, nigga. But like, I'm telling you right now, I wouldn't. Like,
No, I like your some of your stories when you talk about they be psychotic walking out the room. I'll be having to redirect them like, "Hey, you can't go in other people's rooms."
No, the colorism issue is a big issue because you do get nurses who are not of the culture, who talk to patients who are, yes, they are psych patients, but they are black psych patients, so the disconnect is there already. You come in as a black nurse, you just say, "Hey, bro, what you doing?" And you talk to him. And he's like, "Nah, nigga, I want you to listen to me."
There's also
because sometimes they just won't listen even when they're floridly psychotic.
Right.
But then there's also different layers of like paranoia that I feel like as a black person you understand when another black person's talking to you, bro. Like it's like I don't trust them cops. You get a white person who's like,
"I don't get what you mean.
What are you talking about?"
They're here to protect you. They're here to save your life. What do you mean?
Like all conspiracy theories aren't
rooted in craziness.
Yeah.
Because there's some facts to it. There's some reason behind it.
Like Have you seen Shameless when the one red-haired nigga was working in the convenience store with the Muslim niggas?
And he was blowing that man backside out.
That's Shameless. That's the show.
Well, I was saying about how like the white woman that was married to the nigga getting his back blown out was basically talking about how he was ridiculing the man's mother because the man's mother was acting crazy and was thinking the CIA was after her, and the nigga was like, but they did wiretap her for like a day or so. And she was like, but that happened once. But like, that's the type of shit, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
no, it's like
that would make me crazy.
I'm a patient.
And let's go not even black. Let's go just a person of color, like somebody who might be Middle Eastern or whatever.
Yeah.
Like we know individuals who we've talked about who seem to have the best adjustment with whatever mental health issues they might be facing. This whole Palestine crisis with Gaza and Israel and the IDF and a genocide happening has caused some people to be marching outside, to be going very strong towards. Yo, what's good? Currently, right now, we are talking. I don't know what the fuck we're talking about.
Mental health, genocide.
We're catching up. We're already 25 minutes into.
We're actually like gradienting into our topics.
Yeah, no, but
Crazy.
but real quick, this is gonna get into whatever. But long story short, now imagine you are a person who identifies as Palestinian. Yeah, and you were going around.
Warm it up. Just let it finish lighting up and
doing these marches, saying a lot of inflammatory stuff, possibly towards Jewish individuals or Israel in general. Like, it's like, if I get you in my ER after a rally, I'm gonna have more compassion for you because I understand the complexities of what's going on right now versus a white person who might not necessarily be tapped in, or let's be honest, you're a provider who does lean one way towards the conflict. We're not going to say which way, just use your context clues. And you feel strongly. You might be more inclined to be like, oh no, you're like a crazy radical person. I just think like as a provider, it's always good to take a step back and really like check your own bias, because this shit is not fair or equal. And all I have to say, I just got checked in with some of the travel nurses I'm homies with from my Baltimore contract, which is dope, black ER. Dog, they've hired a new night shift manager. He's kind of chill, but he's white. A lot of the other black nurses are gone, and all the new hires,
white.
Armenian white.
Armenian white?
No, I'm just kidding. They white, bro. They he said, you got a bunch of Kim Kardashians in that bitch. No. But it just goes to show like their idea of what they think is going to provide the best care or look like they're providing the best care, in my opinion, just isn't, because you started out with an ER that was nurses who were homegrown. You had a few travelers come in, but these nurses who have been in this community for 20, 30 odd some years, like
right,
the compassion they had for these patients, you can't teach that, because this is patients from their backyard. You made the environment so uncomfortable for them to work, they all decided to leave.
Yeah.
And you brought in a bunch of nurses who, let's be honest, are mercenaries from different parts of the country who have no attachment to these individuals.
And we don't give a fuck.
Don't give a shit, bro.
Yeah. And I say we because I'm a mercenary too.
But, but we black mercenaries.
No, I think like I've learned like and like I've learned like the blessing like of knowing. Like, I was just thinking, like, even, like, working with nurses I work with, like, there's a blessing in sometimes, like, nurses having more wealth of, like, education and stuff like that and other topics, too. Because, like, I've learned, like, certain nurses, especially, like, older nurses that just did the ASN program, and, like, I don't know how it was 20, 30 years ago. Like, they struggle with certain, like, things themselves. Like, they'll be, like, just and I get that, like, it's a burnout position, like you burn, but it's like not understanding like how environment impacted a person's ability to cope, why certain people constantly live in certain like hospitals or constantly hospitalized. And I realized like even talking to y'all, just having the background knowledge and like Jabari used to say, not all nurses are built the same.
No.
And like in some that just do certain programs, and it's no knock or haven't educated themselves in other areas. Like, cause the one nurse was like, "Why does she stay off her meds? How come she can't stay med compliant once we release her?" And it's like, well, there's environmental factors, there's drug addiction factors, and stuff like that. And it's like, it's not just a simple solution.
Which is sweet because that's the side that you deal with, you know.
Yeah.
Us in the ER, us in the nursing
But I've met
home,
some
we don't
ER
see that
nurses that
side.
are very like
Compassionate when it comes to
compassionate, and
Yeah.
like the other day I was in the ER and she was like, "I've seen you before," and they were very calm with her. She was there for ECO.
Hold up. I think what you're saying is like a lot of nurses or providers don't have the same level of worldly experience. But I think Donica had something she wanted to say on that.
Are we talking about bias? I love some bias. Hi guys, can you hear me?
Yeah.
We can.
I feel like I'm whispering.
Don't whisper.
Hey, Donica.
Talk to say what you
Hey
said.
Tete, can you make it so I can see everybody?
What's
Hi,
up? Look at that smiling face.
Hey Devontae.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. No, I was just thinking like I definitely agree that to your point of not all nurses are built the same, like not all providers are built the same, period. And like it's so weird to be in school, like I feel like at the age that I'm in school, because there's like a wide range of people that go back for their like graduate level degrees, whether that's nursing, PA, MD, whatever. And really like if you look around the room, the people that are typically like in programs are like representative of exactly what Jabari was saying, like who they think are best fit to serve the community. And I feel like it's crazy because you can come in and be pretty much any like race or ethnicity that isn't white. People are already looking at you like, oh, like how did you end up here? And that's just that like same mindset, just more negative, is the same mindset that they take into like treating patients. Like I saw like Project Diversify Medicine had just posted something, like a stat the other day that was like 70% of providers admitted to like having a biased thought or something like that prior to like dealing with a patient of color. And that's 70%, and a good chunk of people that are in that 30% are lying. Like, it's just, I feel like exactly how our healthcare system, like everyone who's in the healthcare system is representative who is, like how the healthcare system treats everybody else. Like,
To be fair, I've
the
had a
least
biased
amount
thought
of
or two.
providers are people of color.
You got a bias?
The least amount of
I said I've had a
resources
biased thought or
go
two.
to
Maybe not of people of color, but of other
Like,
cultures for sure.
across
You know?
the board, we're just like gate kept out of medicine, we're gate kept out of access to resources, and it's intentional because people keep treating the Black community like it's not lucrative, but that's another financial conversation.
We're gonna get to that.
We need to organize our dollars.
We're gonna get to that a little bit later. We're starting to diatribe a little bit, but I just want to end with 2 points. One, we're just like monologuing. We're talking a lot, which is dope. We haven't seen. No. I love it.
Isn't that
we have a lot of topics to
isn't
get
that
to.
what this podcast is?
A lot of topics to get to. I implore you guys look at the notes.
Right.
I implore you guys look at the notes. We have a lot to get through because I don't know when we're going to get into here
I want to
again.
talk about Jonathan Majors.
We are going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Jonathan Majors.
No, I'm talking about right now.
No, but listen. So, real quick, I just want to talk about my experiences on the West Coast because it has to do a little bit with the identity of healthcare and the patients we treat and how that varies based off our perceived identity. And I think it's interesting because Tete was saying he's had a biased thought or two, and I think we all have had a biased thought or two. I mean, I know
That's
for a
human
fact
nature.
It's just human nature. But the problem is, say we were to have a biased thought about a white patient or maybe an Asian American. I'm not really. They don't really do nothing to nobody. But you know what I'm saying.
That's a biased thought in itself.
Exactly.
Oh, they're unproblematic.
Exactly. But all that to say, because we are. Us and Hispanic Americans are some of the most marginalized when it comes to having people that look like us who provide care. When assumptions are made about other cultures, there's people among the latter on every step to catch those pitfalls. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might get a patient, a skinny 6'3" basketball player at 21 who's Caucasian comes in with chest pain, and you get a provider who's immediately thinking maybe collapsed lung for some reason when you're not necessarily going straight there just because they're aware or they've had a few people in their family who've had this and they know that they're predisposed to that. You know what I'm saying? Versus you get a sickle cell patient, and as we know, sickle cell trait is only passed down in African Americans, and me and you aren't gonna just look at this patient and go, oh, they're a nigga and they want drugs. You know what I'm saying? They're a sickle cell patient. We're thinking about all sickle cell patients that we've seen, can identify with, can talk with, and know that depending on a whole host of factors may be the reason why you're asking for however much morphine, Dilaudid, or whatever you need, right?
Right.
Whereas you get a new provider who's just like,
no, fuck that.
I mean, how many times have you heard it? We've just given her fucking 6 milligrams of morphine. Like, what the fuck else does she need?
Right.
I don't know what she needs to not be in pain.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how they've been treating her like this. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, in the ER, where we're at, it's not our job to fucking be her continuity of care. Now, we can suggest as we oh shit. Providers to do. Did you sit on the broken one?
Yeah, I think so.
You alright?
I can get up.
You alright, man?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy because he was talking about losing 17 pounds.
I ain't listening up.
That's the chair.
You had a dog?
That is a dog. Yeah, grab a shirt. Come on. Bring it back in, reel it back in. You can just toss, you can leave that right there for right now. We throw it away. I mean, at this point, that's two. There's one chair that was broken. So if that wasn't the broken chair, and you know what? What do you mean?
I'm wishing for better luck with this one.
Oh, no, that's
You want to switch?
the key and D.
The bench?
No, that one's broken. Don't you see it? That one's broken. We'll get the other one.
They might be all broken.
You know, Damon was here this weekend.
You could just
All right, take it.
that was uncalled for.
Oh, you was chilling with? He came over here?
Yeah, he came over for the party. Okay, wait.
You had an after party here?
We had a quick smoke session afterwards.
You
But
had Damon sitting on stuff?
long story short, being in the West Coast has been very illuminating for
Damn, that's hard.
many different reasons. I think specifically where there's this feeling on the East Coast or the Midwest or the middle part of the country where we look at people from the West as like beta, soy boys, like soft, very privileged, having a lot of resources, and as a result being a little bit unaware of the struggles of the rest of the country or the world. Like, you guys don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And I'm gonna be honest, I felt a little bit of that, okay? Now, I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, everybody in LA is pretentious, or everybody in LA are pricks, or...
But they are.
But there are a lot, there is a lot of, what's the word when you just think everything is deserving, or, you know, where you... Entitlement. There's a level of entitlement that I thought I had grown accustomed to in Maryland, where I was taking care of a more affluent group of patients.
What part of Maryland?
Rockville.
Yeah, Rockfield. But no.
You were there too?
Yeah. It's a different level in the area of Southern California that I am, specifically Pasadena. I stay in Eagle Rock, which I Googled all the homes, on average $1.2 to $2 million, right? I'm the only black person in this neighborhood in a furnished finder. At the hospital I work at, I'm the one of two black male nurses I've seen in the ER.
Black doctors?
There's a black resident. I have not seen any black male doctors or female doctors. I've seen maybe 6 black female nurses, 4 of which 3 of which were travelers, 1 of which was registry, which is like what Tete's doing at HCA. And then the patient population of itself, I would say, is maybe 10% African American, and those 10%, 8%.
Well-to-do, affluent.
No, 2% of that.
Oh, okay.
8% are just like the riffraff of the community. You know what I'm saying?
It's Pasadena. Like Beach
there's a-
Boys have a song about Pasadena.
There's a lot of Hispanic migrant population because a lot of them they don't speak English. Look,
Los Angeles is a county and a city.
Yeah, there's like Los Angeles proper, the city, and then you have like the surrounding county. So if you're not from LA, like you say, like you're someone from LA or the surrounding county of LA will come out here and then talk to you, and you'd be like, oh, where are you from? They'd probably be like LA because you would understand that respectively versus being like, oh no, I'm from like Pasadena or I'm from Eagle Rock or I'm from El Sereno or some shit like that. Like I still don't know.
Where are you from originally?
Me, like in California, born in San Diego, families from the Bay Area, so San Francisco.
Born in San Diego?
Yeah, it's, Brentwood, Pinole, and Richmond. Specifically is where a lot of the niggas stay. But all that to say, like,
Right.
nigga,
Found a Richmond on both.
I don't know if
both
it's just a
coasts.
juxtaposition of when I came from Baltimore and I just saw all black face every corner, every building I stepped into, but I get stared at again in Pasadena. I get stared at in the hospital.
Really?
Yeah, it's a little off-putting, and like there's this weird fakeness to a lot of interactions. Not to say that like the people are bad, mean, but it just feels like there's like a PC, like a layer of pleasantry
I know.
that everybody has.
Have you like had any interactions with people that have like said something to you directly that's like maybe felt passive aggressive, like it just
Oh,
like,
I've been asked
PC?
so many times by the patient population, what does my name mean? Jabari. Oh, where's that from? And my joke that
You're like, we came from your mountain.
No. Here's my spiel. I go, oh, I've heard a few things. 1, in Hawaiian, I heard it means courage. 2, I think it is Muslim, though. I've met a lot of Middle Eastern doctors with the name Jabari, although they spell it with 2 B's. But personally, I just say, it was a gift from my mother. They let that one.
Chuckle.
Or if I'm feeling very smart, I'll say, I don't know, it was a gift from my mom. And some people will get it, like, oh, yeah, you don't know, your mom just named you that. Or some people will be like, oh my God, that was so nice of her. And I'm just like, yeah, she could have not given me a name. Like,
Yeah.
Like,
But
right.
I'm gonna do. His mom named him Bless him.
I had a patient touch my hair.
That's weird.
No, yeah, like, they're
Like
like,
just off the random.
no, listen, so like, the patient, massive stroke. The patient family members who originally were like, we want everything done, but due to this patient's condition, age, we're just like,
Nah.
you want what? like,
Come on.
They beaten the lottery for 2 decades. They made it because you can just guess what their age was. But the patient was like doing one of those things. They had massive deviation. So like they just were looking to the right. They didn't see anything to the left, or they weren't attracting anything to the left. They were doing this with their hand, and the patient family member goes, "Oh, it's your hair!" And she like starts grabbing my hair, and I go, "You know, when you're just this hasn't happened to me like in honestly in years, because also too like you know I'm a very masculine presenting black man, so it's kind of like." You know, a lot of people don't try me because I just look scary. Let's just be honest. You know what I'm saying, to the average person of non-color. And then it was funny because I was like, whatever. I forget. I was pretty like, dude, this is 2 days before vacation. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, fuck it,
You want to touch
right.
my hair?
Yeah, you were.
And the patient was like, no.
Yeah,
no. And like, it was one of those moments where like, you know, like we all know it's awkward. But like I'm a little amused by it a little bit. They're clearly like, I don't know what that was, but yeah, no. So it's like I've had more than a few occurrences on the West Coast that is supposed to be super progressive, and especially in Southern California where they speak to be ahead of the curve, and we love all people. And
the coast on paper compared to the rest of the country, which is not progressive. They're dumb.
Shit. When it comes to race, America's all in the same place. That's
All the world's the same place, honestly.
the whole world. Amen.
And went to set you on fire. That's
Everywhere in this world, darker skinned people get mistreated.
Absolutely.
all right, man, what did you go watch some documentaries since you were gone?
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying. Devontae stopped drinking for a month, turned to Yasin Bey.
No, bro.
Talk about that nigga too.
We ain't listen to your shit unless there's a message behind it.
Nah, I ain't with that, bro. Come on, y'all.
But speaking of black and darker skinned individuals being treated poorly across all platforms, let's talk about it. You seem like you need to get some shit off your chest.
Man.
Nah,
What
bro.
do you have to say about
I
it?
just want to say
Before we do that, basically what we're talking about is Jonathan Majors.
Which we discussed on the pod before.
The actor who was previously found fame for a variety of different roles, Lovecraft Country, Creed 3, was supposed to be King in the new Avengers movie, was found guilty of third-degree assault
That's a wild assault.
and fired from his role as King from the Marvel
'Cause he black.
multi-universe a day later.
Yeah, they
those
fired him
of
like
you
2 hours later.
might be wondering why there's such a hubbub about that result.
waiting for that.
Well, because the third-degree assault was a lesser charge than what he was originally facing, which is why everybody was kind of like
Yo, what the fuck?
double dutching on whether or not
He
it was
was
over
found
for
innocent
him.
of a lot of other stuff.
He was found innocent of the the first-degree assault.
My question
Yes.
is, why does
Go ahead.
bro dress like that, dude?
Just like what? Like he's a civil rights leader?
Yo.
Like a slave.
Stop now, but on a serious note, I will speak from a little bit of experience.
He around your age. Why
Wait.
you dress like that?
No. wait.
No. My nigga was just in a toxic relationship.
Yeah, cut. Yeah.
Like,
This is getting weird.
no. The only
Why
thing.
niggas want to start telling on themselves?
Stop. Nah.
Actually, he's 34.
Yeah. The nigga was
close to the art.
clearly in a toxic
Yeah.
relationship. Shit going back and forth.
Why you
Two
dress
toxic people doing toxic shit caught on camera, and they're celebrities.
like that? She ain't no celebrity.
He is though, right?
She's just a regular.
Like-
Should have stayed away from that snow bunny.
It's not just that, because I've been in toxic relationships with non-snow bunnies. It's
Hey, but
a toxic
black woman would've
relationship
shut
looks like that. You're running away from the girl. She's chasing you. The shit is crazy.
You got to run away from a bitch?
Hey, look, man.
No,
We're not talking about.
No, I'm asking you because that's a different level of fucking crazy.
I'm gonna tell a story. I have left a woman's house because the shit was getting weird. Got in my car.
She followed
She
you.
said, "Don't you leave, or I will scratch the shit out of your car." I said, "I'm leaving." I backed out the minute I hit that reverse. She took a rock and scratched the shit out of my car. I had to
get
go.
it fixed.
I had to go to my insurance company. I called Geico. I said my car got defaced.
behind the car.
They wanted you to file a police report.
No, they didn't. They said okay. I said I didn't know who did
The
it.
Jonathan Major situation would have been, she says, "Don't you dare leave this house, or I'm going to start scratching myself up."
Well, that's what I'm saying. But it's still a toxic relationship, and he knew he was in one, and he continued to stay.
So
That's my point.
There's
Sorry.
a few. There's a
Grace
few.
Jabari?
Yeah, listen. There's a few issues I have with this story. First and foremost, this bitch got my name, and I didn't know this.
Her name was Jabari?
I didn't know this until like a few
weird
months
as
ago. All of, like, why the fuck are we not saying what this woman's name is? And then all of a sudden, 3 months ago, it's Grace Jabari. She single-handedly ruined the Jabari name.
She is a raggedy looking white woman.
Bro, she looks like an Olsen twin.
Why?
Like,
All the women in the world you could have got, my brother. You got this raggedy looking one on your arms.
and
He
it's-
got Megan Good now.
I hope he rots in hell. Why does he need? You should not be able to go from look from.
his new Coretta.
Yeah, and he keep bringing up damn Coretta's name.
Yo,
he brought up the white woman in
We want to
Coretta.
support him fully, but he does some dumb shit.
And then they showed.
that
Hey, did you
fight
see his
stage?
You saw his fit the other day where he had the sweatpants.
No, but did you see when he broke up that fight between those two girls?
Yeah.
And it looked like,
and he looked.
bro, my nigga is one of the best actors I've seen in the last 10 years, and he put on the worst show I've ever seen in my life. Like, what the fuck was that?
Bro, I'm gonna say this. Somebody posted they getting our black actors, bro. Every time we supposed to have a next.
Who?
The dude that did that Birth of a Nation movie, they say he was out raping women. I don't even know if that was an actual charge. I don't want to say it might have been dismissed, but
I mean, if you count the ones that have been, put on some sort of cancellation or placed in jail or passed away, sadly, we are losing some really amazing black
because
actors.
this man ain't gonna be in nothing but Tubi
Let's
movies
stay on
now.
fucking topic, okay?
Jonathan Major's gonna be in Tubi next year, bro.
There is a few things I find problematic, right?
Don could know he gonna be on Tubi.
It just
Like, I'm gonna tell you, I think him, y'all not gonna like this.
Uh-oh.
Making good are both a bit unstable because what are you doing?
I agree with you.
What are you doing?
I agree with you.
Like when you look at this, like first of all, this is reaching the level of embarrassment that we felt for Kiki. Cause like, what are you doing?
what?
This, like,
What?
This nigga,
This is worse than that.
He is standing 10 toes down on this Coretta analogies and now calling you Coretta.
Did anybody watch the interview?
Any of this is
I saw a little bit of it.
Like,
No.
He was getting emotional and stuff.
But like, let's keep it a band. She really has been. The only time we've heard from her or seen from her is when she's walked with him into the court.
She left the
Did we-
pastor.
Did we? I can't believe I'm shooting this nigga some bail. Did anybody listen to his exit interview with Gayle King after the verdict came out and he's fucking doing 60 Minutes and he's crying?
No, I know. I saw highlights. I didn't see the whole interview.
All right. So he explains the comments of the Coretta Scott King, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And like, when you take it in the context, is it hyperbolic? Yes. Does it sound fucking funny as shit when we get to hear it? Yes. But if we are all being honest and thinking about conversations we've had with partners, both adjusted and not adjusted, we can kind of think of a situation if maybe we were dating somebody of the opposite race who was looking like they're about to fuck up the bag and think, okay, how in my most eloquent and maybe not try to be, misogynistic way can I explain to you what type of relationship I'm trying to have with you. If I look at through those view and I'm not looking at this nigga like a sadistic woman beater as the world has tried to place on him, he's just a goof. You know what I'm saying? Like, just some goofy. He said some goofy shit and the bitch recorded it. That's the thing too. We wouldn't know about this Coretta Scott shit if like the shawty hadn't willingly like recorded that shit probably on some, this is gonna make you sound crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's not take that piece out of it. It's not like this nigga put up the Instagram live himself and was like, I have a dream, my brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? It's not like this nigga got up at the goddamn Emmys and said, hey, I'm gonna let you finish, but let me take a second to tell y'all how women should treat their men. You know what I'm saying? It was a private conversation that got out, right? Especially, and got out at a time when we were all looking at him when there was a possibility that I was like, nigga, did you beat up this white woman, dog?
Stay away from
And then
her.
like ran away from her, did all this because you knew there was cameras, like you orchestrated this whole thing? No, turns out you were dating a crazy white bitch and
You were kind of crazy too.
you were crazy, yeah, but not crazy in like a manipulative or violent way. You were crazy.
No.
Dude, you gonna fumble the bag over
This
a crazy white
this
bitch?
crackhead looking white joint.
Like, yeah, like we've all done stupid shit for pussy. We've all done shit we're not supposed to for pussy. But I would hope if we all were looking at $20 million for a fucking movie, we'd be
And
like,
you ain't even gotta do that best of your acting. It ain't like
Yeah.
They superhero
This is
movies, bro.
Marvel,
You ain't gotta
right.
give out no Academy Award winning performance.
No. And he's capable of that too. That's my problem. Like, he's a really good actor.
Now, what do we think about Marvel dropping him the day after? Like, literally, they didn't even let the press.
Because it's
press go into hot
Disney
for
and
12 hours.
I mean, I have no problem with it. They're a multi-billion-dollar company. They have an image to keep up.
Do we really?
for kids.
But listen, what do you think of the theory that people are saying they didn't drop him for a moral standpoint? They saw the numbers were bad for Ant-Man and Quantumania.
Yes.
They saw that Marvel shit won't hit in. They saw the Skrull shit was bullshit. They saw that they basically fucked up.
You're saying that they were gonna.
Marvel saw that they fucked up the universe.
Hold up, what Skrull stuff?
That was the one of the last TV shows. Nick Fury.
Bro. I don't think that.
No. The movies aren't good. Like
No. But that's not why they dropped.
No. But what
The movies
I've
aren't
heard,
good.
This is what I've heard. They saw the trajectory of this next saga. It wasn't looking good, so they said, "Yo, we can." There's two rules of thought. This nigga didn't do anything super crazy. We can spin it, put all of our chips in this basket, and keep going because we know it's gonna be good.
all them.
Or we can cut our fucking losses, use the idea of this moral high ground, get rid of Kang, and reshape this movie however the fuck we want because we got rid of this nigga and like at this point without this nigga it's whatever, which is what they seem to be doing now with a new Kingpin storyline with Daredevil and keep making Spider-Man the center of the universe.
I think what happened is what you're seeing is they would have kept him if that verdict came out innocent. I promise you. Okay? But now they had an opportunity to kill two birds with one stone. You're right. The universe now sucks. The movies are trash. But we are going to get rid of this man because we can't have him representing our universe as he's been proven to or said to have beaten on this poor white woman, okay? They were gonna. I'm saying that's what Marvel's saying. So we're going to get rid of him, and also now he can be the fall guy for the fact that we're gonna cancel this and change this all around. We won't admit that we made a mistake.
He's black, so no one's gonna say shit.
Well, exactly. But if he had been innocent, this would never happen.
Because he was a hot little piece of white ass like Ezra Miller, and that movie did good.
Ezra Miller was wild.
That nigga was fucking choking bitches in Walmart on video.
That was a flash.
On video, he choked the bitch in Walmart on video, and they still let the movie go. They still released the
They
movie.
then did some weird shit with kids. I don't think
He kidnapped the woman and her daughter.
Yeah, I knew it was a kid.
Bro, this nigga was a super villain,
But
and they
that movie
said
was already made. So now it's a spectacle.
no. When this was happening, they were doing reshoots. They could have scrapped the movie.
Do you think they should have?
The reshoots? That was already made.
What I think is what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
But it's also
If you're gonna let one wild out,
Let the other wild out. You know what I'm saying? Like fuck it.
hold up. He burglarized somebody.
Bro,
He got a charge of grooming of minors.
He was a menace to
you're not
society.
Oh shit.
Bruh.
And he won't release.
Mel Gibson was caught on camera saying he wished his ex-wife got raped by a pack of niggas and was still in Hollywood to this day. What are we talking
he did
about,
say
bro?
And he also had the anti-Semitic thing,
Yeah,
right?
he said he got drunk and started screaming, "The Jews!" I remember that recording. He just started, "The Jews did it," and they're like, "Yo, we're pulling you over because you were swerving."
Let me put this perspective for you guys.
Yes, they put him over
Let
because
me
he was
put this
swerving
in
and he
perspective
blamed
for
the-
you guys.
Yeah.
They're saying Jonathan Major's net worth was about 20 million prior to this fucking lawsuit.
Right.
This case. They said he had to pay 25 million for this verdict of guilty to lesser charges. Because he's no longer to be Kang, his 20 million paycheck from Marvel's gone.
He was messing
This
with
nigga's broke, bro.
No, he's broke.
This nigga got caught on camera running from a white bitch and found guilty of brushing or hurting her finger for trying to get his phone back.
Yes.
And now he's lost. He's broke and career gone.
Hey, at the end of the day, I feel for him. You're right. It's unfair. It's fucked up. But yo,
And think about this.
No.
To go even further, think about this.
No, hold on. Let me finish this.
He was on steroids. There's this theory. He was on steroids. So this aggressive behavior might not even been the true Jonathan Majors. It might have been a result of him steroiding for the fucking role.
No, first of all, fuck this. This is a whole bunch of making excuses for a grown-ass man that did nobody force the juice steroids.
That's what I'm gonna say. Like, Donica, that's what I'm saying.
No.
Like, let's hold our black men accountable.
Let me talk.
Oh, my bad.
Never.
Because I was talking before you started talking. But
No one
whatever.
asked him to make these decisions, and now is unstable because, first of all, you know who's not broke? Megan Good. You don't need to stand by this man while he pays for literal decisions that he made. Maybe he didn't need.
Love is love. Why you hate on Megan Good?
Oh no.
She's standing by her, nigga. What this white bitch should have did, she be up too. That's the other problem. See, sometimes bitches don't think. Bitches think small. Okay, but you gotta think big, bitch. You gotta think big, bitch. Like,
You're out here thinking that like relationship. No, I'm not even gonna go into the interracial relationship. Like we're not gonna go there right now. We don't have time for this. My point is, you don't need to feel bad for Jonathan Majors. Like
don't nobody feel bad for her.
Huh?
Don't nobody feel bad
I feel
for
bad
her.
anytime a man loses money,
You're
but
making a whole bunch of excuses for her.
But what I'm saying is, if you guys are saying that there's not a Hollywood cabal that probably told Jonathan Majors, hey nigga, you take these steroids, you do this, you're gearing up, you get dressed in these pink floral suits and you put flowers in your mouth and you cover a GQ, we're gonna make you the next movie star. Y'all did not listen to that Katt Williams interview.
he probably
here we go.
was
Good
getting his
transition.
butt played with Harvey Weinstein.
Harvey Weinstein probably wanted to suck Jonathan Majors' dick. You ever think about that?
Bro, do you know that was wild when I learned that information that Harvey Weinstein was paying men he was sucking.
Wait, paying men to suck their dick?
No, yes.
What the fuck?
That's what they're saying.
No, listen. Okay, so if y'all know what we're talking about, you have no
Internet access?
internet access. You have no proximity to black culture
Because Katt Williams
a
was telling the
fucking
truth.
Bombshell was dropped the first month of January. Katt Williams dropped a bombshell 3-hour.
Did y'all watch Club Shay Shay before that?
No,
No.
I didn't even know. I didn't know Shannon
I
Sharp
did.
had a show.
I
He
did.
did have a show.
I knew, but I didn't know he had that many people.
And he had a lot of people.
I for damn sure didn't know it
he's
was
had-
named
he's had a lot of good people.
fruity ass name like Club Shay Shay.
His name is just what he.
No offense.
No, it is a little. For Shannon Sharp, it's like this is.
I watch his other one. I watch his other show called Nightcap
His
too.
daughter named this.
Huh?
It's like his daughter named.
But now, because of that
And
interview,
listen.
that shit sticks.
He been dressed pretty.
That's
He's been dressed pretty well on the shit. Shannon Sharp, one of them
he's-
tight ass outfits.
Oh, he
well, he's
always
built like him.
He always come.
Got too much. You too brolic for that shit, bruh.
He looked good for 50.
He wearing a suit. They're just
He's
mad
like
fitted.
56 or something.
Sounded like every hour of that speech class he probably took.
Oh my god.
Trina look like that.
Do you think? Honestly, because there's a video of Shannon Sharp back in the day making fun of talking about a story.
Who's
And he made
married?
fun of his old classmates for not being able to pronounce words and stuttering.
Oh, you gotta show me.
Do you think it's
somebody.
CTE?
I gotta hit up some.
No, okay.
I don't know.
All right.
know.
So this Katt Williams interview,
It's just funny.
bombshell, funny as fuck. But we do have to have a little bit of
Presence of mind, a grain of salt, shit.
what's the word? Integrity when we speak on this issue as healthcare providers.
No,
Okay.
fine.
Because I talked to somebody over the weekend.
He said he runs a 4.4.
He had a video to prove it.
3,000 books a year since he was 6.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Or in a basketball gym.
Hold on.
Wait,
You said how many books?
3,000 books a year. What, he in Cat in the Hat? Like, come on, man. What the hell?
I turned the interview off when he said, I'm friends with Prince. And me and Prince had problems. He said, I put him on the cars and women. I said, bro.
You put Prince on the
Cars
cars
and women.
Nigga.
3,000 books a year.
He said he put Prince on?
Yeah, that's what I said. Oh.
What? That's an insult.
Hold up. I'm actually going to do that. 3,000.
Shit.
3,000 books. It's 365 days. He reads 8 books a day. Yo, Katt Williams is reading 8 books a day.
No, it is more than 8. It's 8.
It's 8.2.
Right, got me 8.5. Oh, shit.
And then he said, what did he say? I've never been high in my life.
Nigga, now I know you were high that day.
As he's drinking
Right.
cognac Like multiple glasses. That was like
He said, because then I watched like Shannon Sharp's after, like the afterthought, like on his show Nightcap, and he was like, to be honest, he was drinking before we started. Usually the guests don't drink till we start rolling.
Shit.
He said, Cat, can I pop this?
God damn.
I just if
He
you
said he runs a 4-4.
look, if you
Said that nigga run.
if you ever had a loved one, okay, who you know is intelligent, you know has done a lot of
He's
amazing things in their life,
He's intelligent.
but you also know that they're off a little bit for a variety of reasons. Could be just mental health. It could be they had a long history of drug use. It could be that they're currently on drugs.
He's not on drugs. He's never been on drugs.
You understand the pattern of talking. Any nigga that can sit in a room and talk for 3 hours without a drop of water has a special power, bro.
What do you say? 19 felonies.
No
convictions.
Which I'm not even sure it's true, because didn't the courts take his kids away? I remember a TMZ video where he's like, they're coming for my kids. Like,
shit.
He's not well enough to be. He's not well enough to be ECO'd, but he's not well.
Right. Like, you can't do nothing to him.
That's it. You and Jasmine
But he's
said
crazy
it.
as fuck.
You and Jasmine said it best. It's like during the interview, the nigga looked a little unstable. You know, and I agree. When he stood up in the middle of the interview, and then went into the 3-point fucking football stance.
He did,
Yeah, bro.
He's not well. We gonna let this man.
And the amount of name drops, man, like he was going in.
Well, here's the thing. But now here's
Everybody
the
was a
thing.
homosexual to him.
We can agree that this nigga looked a
He
little.
said Chris Tucker was on Epstein Island.
He's a little crazy.
Yeah, he's on an up or something. Yeah.
And throughout the years, we've seen different TMZ
He fought a
excerpts, different
and lost.
interviews, and even like I hate to say this, even like his fashion of late, like what he wears on stage. I don't know if you've seen some of his recent specials.
Yeah.
And you know, comedians have always had the garb of avant-garde. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna wear a lot of designer brands. You know, you got Chris Rock, Chris Tucker with the leather. Like it's like a thing. But like Katt Williams just dresses like somebody who's been like doing drugs for a while, in my opinion.
19 felonies.
And he used to know how to dress. Pause for the times. Now let's say when it comes to the names he dropped and the stories he told, not all that shit sounded crazy.
Not necessarily.
Because they've made compilations. Cedric the Entertainer stealing his joke. I don't know if y'all saw it, but they made a compilation of the joke that Katt Williams said verbatim and the joke that Cedric the Entertainer stole verbatim. And to me, it sounded like he stole that joke. It sounded exactly the same.
It sounded to me like
He switched up the name from a Cadillac to a spaceship.
It sounded like
that was the same
and
fucking
it was,
joke.
You gotta remember the
Premise.
look. You gotta look like the motion of like pretending to drive the car in
It was
that
the
way.
same.
Yeah, it was the same.
Like he stole that joke. Like verbatim stole the fucking joke. Like it's like
I wouldn't say verbatim.
because the
verbiage was different.
I've listened to but not different enough. Like you could have a similar premise, you could have a similar punchline, but to have a similar setup, premise, punchline, emote, like no, you know, he stole the joke. Like I've and again, it's not just me saying
the premise and the punchline are two different things, though.
No. But what I'm saying is, in the jokes, it was the same thing. It was about an extraterrestrial being coming down and giving us the ability to like whatever with technology. And as niggas, we still do that shit. The same shit. We do it as if it was whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like the premise of the premise of the joke is niggas gonna do nigga shit regardless of what that shit is. We gonna still put our own flavor on it. And that was the joke. And he stole the joke. And like didn't change shit up of it other than like words, you know what I'm saying? But the heart, the feel, the premise, the idea of the joke is the same. And from what I've heard from comedians talking on this issue, that's the problem. Because you can have a similar premise, right? We can both be like, yo, white people get irrationally cringy when it comes to racial embarrassment or something like that. But the setup is different. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like you don't just have all that coincidentally happen at the same time, because there are times when we have similar schools of thought. Like nobody has an original thought these days. You know what I'm saying? But like, there's a difference between plagiarism and we both have the same thought type shit, and that shit was plagiarism. Second, what the fuck was he talking about with Kevin Hart? Oh, Kevin Hart.
Oh, he industry plant.
I don't know if Kevin Hart was an industry plant, because personally, you know, we're not in the fucking field, and I feel like I saw Kevin Hart's rise from the Shaquille O'Neal comedy specials to Soul Train. But you have to agree that at some point, Kevin Hart sold, quote unquote, his soul to become the big famous movie star he is. Whether you call selling your soul just, you know, catering to a whiter audience.
Becoming pop.
Yeah.
But some people would say like that's
not an industry plant though.
I agree. But like he started with industry plant to also leaning into like, yo, this nigga sold his soul and it's no longer funny. And like, I don't know the last time y'all thought Kevin Hart was funny, but Laugh at My Pain was the last time I thought Kevin Hart was truthfully
definitely
actually
high
funny.
school.
I actually saw Kevin Hart recently.
His movies aren't even fucking funny.
I saw Kevin Hart recently stand up, and he still comes to Richmond. You know, which is by the way, for his level of stardom is a big fucking deal.
But here's the big thing too.
But like
people are saying, like that's cool. But if you know, soul to soul type shit. Like a lot of the jokes Kevin Hart. The reason why the jokes aren't funny and don't hit the same is because these aren't jokes Kevin Hart's like working on for
because he doesn't have time.
Yeah, but these are jokes people have written for them, and a big issue in the comedy. And again, like I'm saying, this is stuff I've heard from different video essays on YouTube. I watch a lot of different comedy podcasts. I'm kind of ingratiated myself in this culture, but like a big problem with comics making it big and starting to do a lot of different ventures, one of which being movies and that sort, is that what brought them their notoriety or their fame, and like what is key to like the art, because there's a big distinction between somebody being a comic and somebody being a stand-up, is once you get to that point, there's no way you can put that work in. And so that's why like your shit sucks.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
but why
his whole premise, because I watched a lot of Kevin Hart interviews, is he feels like he's trying to do something no one else has done. Like he's like, oh, be a comedic rock star. But at the end of the day, it's like he's half-assing a lot of the other shit. Yeah. He's not doing...
No. But I disagree, because you guys don't hold the same accountability for someone like an Eddie Murphy, who is really a comedic rock star. Like Eddie Murphy gets $20 million a movie for every stupid fucking movie like Dave that he makes.
Oh yeah,
because he's put in the work as a comedian.
But I will say like,
But I think Eddie would. But Eddie put
in a lot more groundwork when you know Eddie's history. Eddie did SNL and saved SNL when they were going to they didn't know if they was going to make it.
Well,
so he saved it. Then he
had to, because he's the first of his kind.
Yeah, and I will say he did a run of, especially in the 80s, of really good movies. Now I will say he's putting out a lot of bullshit. But the motherfucker also has fathered 11 kids. He's fathered 11 kids.
You gotta do some shit.
But the reason why I think the movies that Eddie Murphy was putting out was good is because when Eddie Murphy was hitting his stride as a movie star, he wasn't really doing stand-up anymore. Like Raw,
and neither is Kevin Hart.
No, but Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart's been putting out a special. Kevin Hart's been putting out a special like once every 3 years. Like Kevin Hart,
he just did a tour last year with Chris Rock,
and it
was just in New York.
Yeah, and that was the Netflix special that's been. Yeah,
it's like he's trying.
This is his, and again, this isn't just me saying this. We're speaking on his peers. You know what I'm saying? And individuals,
because everyone knows, honestly. And I think some people, like Eddie Murphy's the rarity. I will say this: Eddie Murphy's the rarity that could do both. Because if you really look at me and my mom,
Bernie Mac was another rarity who could do both. Throw that out there.
Yeah, we
was genuinely funny.
We just didn't get to see
his success was cut short.
Yeah. But it's like we know Chappelle
was like that though.
Chappelle would have been that. Chappelle if he didn't run away from it.
Yeah, he ran away, and we're not sure if Chappelle could, he has a couple movies, but we're not sure what he could have done with a long ride of movies. I think like it's hard for us to. I feel like I get what Kevin Hart's trying to do. It's like, I want to be the first stand up and move like blockbuster movie guy that has more longevity. The other cats have kind of like really just said it ain't for me. Like once Eddie Murphy kind of like. He just won't feel in it.
But what I'm saying is, let me say this. I'm sorry. What I'm saying is, Kevin Hart is here. I would disagree totally with an industry plant term, but he's where he wanted to be. Like he put in work, and he likes this position. He likes being able to reach a wider audience. He likes maybe being more pop. He likes being able to do commercials for Fabletics. He likes having podcasts and random shows on Peacock.
Agreed. Kevin Hart likes the money. Kevin Hart likes the fame.
That's my point.
Kevin Hart wanted to be this level of superstar, but here's what I'm saying, and I think this is where the heart of what Katt Williams is trying to get at, and it's the same thing when we go later when
because a lot of them will say we
talk about Mos Def and talking about Drake and how Drake's pop. A lot of black artists of any medium, rapper, comic, movie writer, like we hold our art to a deeper level and a deeper meaning. Like if you're not talking about shit, what the fuck is the point type shit? Like if you're just in it for the pure sheer capitalism of it, of just more fame, more money, more
and
wealth,
I think
it seems hollow to a lot of people who consider themselves to be purists. I think Katt Williams considers himself to be a purist, especially when you look at in his argument against Kevin Hart or other artists. He's talking about, I've taken 10 comics with me on tour and started their careers throughout my life. You've seen multiple stories of different people saying, when I was down and out, or when I was first getting started, Katt Williams gave me $15,000. Like
name his comics. Who are his comics?
Boosie Badass literally took a tour with him.
No, like who are his comics that he's brought? Like he's brought up with him.
They're very low level comics.
No, not all of them.
Kevin Hart's ex-wife.
Well, that's new.
Being paid.
But Gary Owen's one of them. He took him on. What's his name? The nigga ran in a few movies prior to the early 2000s. He was in like All About that.
Mike Epps?
Benjamins. Mike Epps is probably one of them. But yeah, I think Mike Epps was one of them.
Mike Epps was before Katt Williams.
Here, we can probably Google it. But
no, but like I think like a lot of people's beef with Kevin Hart that like really do it. They feel like you sacrifice being funny to make millions, and
not you. What does success look like?
Because
what does success look like though?
But yeah, for some people that like it's like what Jabari says, they live and breathe this shit. They don't do it for the money. They do it for the art. Because it's still an art form.
But you
think about some of the funniest.
Fine.
Think about some of the funniest not Chris Rock. The funniest Eddie Murphy or Dave Chappelle bits. A lot of them deal in real world situations that are found by black culture.
Absolutely.
Right? You're thinking about like the crack baby joke with
baby, we trying to hear something crack.
And I think even the Chappelle show.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying,
but I think like people, I get what you're saying, Tete. It's like people have to look at like he never wanted to be that guy.
When you don't go pop, when you don't reach a higher mass, there is a ceiling to that. Mm-hmm. If you don't want to reach that ceiling, you have to go to the next level, and that's what it looks like.
But listen. Even in the argument, you're talking about a ceiling. You have to do certain things to get to a certain ceiling. Katt Williams is saying, why? Because this conglomerate of people, whether it is, again, he's saying it's an actual coordinated effort to make black people look a certain way, but there's another competing thought that it's just capitalism and it's just a bunch of people who have their hands in certain things saying this, right? Like, for different reasons, let's talk about Friday After the Next. Katt Williams is saying, so for the part of the pimp, they wanted in the script for this nigga to actually be anally raped. I don't know if y'all remember in Friday After the Next when Katt Williams plays Santa Claus and you have the big black nigga who fucking takes the monkey wrench and puts it on his dick, spoiler alert, to spin in the bathroom and get raped. But Katt Williams is saying in the actual script, like when we're doing the table read, I'm supposed to actually get raped. And all I'm saying is, why does that actually have to fucking happen for it to be funny? It's not,
like,
it's not
I don't
a thing.
find rape funny.
I don't find that funny. And then literally the actor who I think it was Ricky Smiley, he was saying, who was proposed to play that role at first. Apparently, when he was like reading for the role, was like, I'm cool with doing this. But it shows a different level in Katt Williams' eyes of integrity, right?
Now, first of all, that has to be verified because do we have anyone like someone who was involved in the script readings?
And there have been
Supposedly, Ice Cube has made a statement.
That said that's true?
Ice Cube came out and what Ice Cube said.
Ice Cube made a statement, but he didn't say anything about the anal rape scene to be true.
He didn't say anal rape scene. He said Ricky Smiley, yes. So what happened at first?
Yes, he was supposed to be the guy.
But then Katt Williams came in and did a better job.
But the anal rape scene, that's what I'm saying. Like, how true is that?
But we're talking specifics. This movie was put out 20 years ago.
Absolutely.
There's going to be details that they both fudge on, but I could honestly see a situation where Katt Williams, because Ice Cube literally said he did a better job. What does doing a better job mean in my eyes when it comes to the role? Maybe it's improvising certain parts. Maybe it's editing the script, doing different things, right? So I can see something where Katt Williams at the time has a big problem with something, but they agree to take it out and change it, and so Katt Williams remembers this vividly. But Ice Cube, who at the beginning of the script was like, "Yeah, I don't give a fuck, nigga, get right, like whatever, nigga."
I think, like honestly, I think there's truth to everyone's argument. I think
there's three sides to every story.
Yeah. I think like Katt was supposed to be the guy at one point, but and Katt probably tricked it up with lifestyle choices he's made and stuff like that. And Kevin Hart, when he got the shot, held on to it. And I do think there is a sense of envy, like I could have been that guy. Mm-hmm. The what if story, what if I got my shit together?
Yeah.
What if I had done that? So it's kind of sometimes easier for a person to say, well, I kept my integrity. But
then it's
at least
easy
I
to
have that.
And you can be the guy that's not pop. And that's an easy position to come from when you're not the guy that's not pop.
But like, okay, so two competing thoughts, right? I like what he's saying about keeping your integrity, and I think that's a little bit different for people who just don't go pop, right? Because you cannot go pop and not.
Well, Kevin Hart hasn't sold his integrity either. He's been integritous.
No, but
except for cheating on his wife. Of course.
But listen, we're talking about integrity. We're talking about speaking out on the shit that you do see and that we've all known to happen in Hollywood at this point.
Well, I think it's like.
Well, hold on. Let me get this off. So, Katt Williams also in the interview talks about how he, for years, has been talking about the Harvey Weinstein situations, and we know this for a fact because Kevin Hart in his Pimpin' has a fucking bit where he's talking about being at Hollywood parties and walking through different rooms and being like, nigga, is that a dude and a dude? Which, there's nothing wrong with homosexuality, but like, in the context he was saying was that you would never expect these two individuals to be doing this.
And there's some influence. So, I like with the integrity piece you were saying about Kevin Hart. Like, I think and there has to be a better word for it. I think with some people, and I've heard, like, there's arguments is you gave up, like you sold out on the art. Like the art, like you could have done a better job with the art. And I don't know what else to, like, I wouldn't say it's like he's
you could just taking a break. Like, why do you need it all? Like, if you're not gonna, like, so I think, again, for purists,
it's like J. Cole, for example. J. Cole can rap just as great as Drake. Can rap
just as great.
Fuck yeah.
Better,
yes.
Yeah,
better.
say that.
So yeah, better is better than Drake. But why isn't when you're being honest? Is like we both know he's not. Is nearly a bigger star
because Drake has not sold his soul, but actually decided that I'm going to reach
we can, but we
a wider audience and make more money.
I don't know. Hold on. But what does reaching
that's fine, and that's okay, and I like that for J. Cole.
But what does
Drake
reaching a wider audience entail? You have to
water your shit down,
which is selling your soul.
But that's that's a negative connotation to someone who wants to reach a wider audience.
And here's how I'll say it's selling your soul, right? Let's go with the Drake comment, because we have an issue right now where Yasin Bey, Most Def, has come out on a podcast and said Drake is pop. Niggas,
that's
fine. Up in arms with that.
We know that.
But then when you listen to the extended thing of what
is that an argument?
When you look at the extended conversation of what Most Def was talking about, he basically was talking about artists, especially black artists, who make art and aren't speaking on anything. Like right now, if you're an artist and you're not having any words about what's going on in the Middle East, I don't want to hear from you because you're making bullshit, right? Ooh. Now, we look at Drake. There's been a lot of people, right, who look at Drake and say, dude, you are failing the entire Jewish community. You are the biggest self-proclaimed Jew in the world. right? Whichever side that you want to be on, whether you want to be on the IDF side or you want to be on the Jews for Palestine side, like, you are silent. There is literally an entire genocide going on, and you being the world's largest Jew aren't saying shit. And let me not just slander Drake. People are also going very hard at DJ Khaled, because DJ Khaled is a self-proclaimed Palestinian, and not just a Palestinian, but a Palestinian first-generation immigrant. Like, we're reaching this level of self-awareness, I think, when it comes to our entertainment, our capitalistic behaviors, where we're understanding that, like, it's no longer, especially the younger generations who grow up on social media, like right now, like they're some of the biggest proponents of calling for peace in the Middle East when it comes to Palestine and Israel because of TikTok, right? This information is being widely mass disseminated. It's just not enough for a lot of people, and especially for people back then. Like, once you get to a certain level of fame, right, and maybe you get all that excess out and you start to think deeper. Some people don't, right? Some people are fine with facilitating more, but a lot of people, especially when they already are artist-driven, they get to a point where they're like, well, what are we doing this for? You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people have different conflicts with it. Different people have fall into, what do you call it? It's like when you start doing everything in your life to make a monument to your death so people can remember you after your death or whatever. But all that to say, like, it's just like, there's deeper conversations that can be had, or to put it bluntly, you know, when Jaden Smith was on the radio and was like, oh, everyone wants to talk about this and that and the third, but can somebody want to talk about the political and economic distress going on in the world right now? Like, that's what a lot of people are at. And when you see some of these artists who clearly, for lack of a better phrase, have washed away with all the realities of the world and what their art sometimes, a lot of times, started as, right? To get to a certain level of ignorance, like the ignorant population who just wants to be distracted, you have to water your shit down. And purists of certain art forms, especially art forms that grew to question power and grew or were created to question power and created to question the system and point out the inequalities and inadequacies in our environment, are like, bro, you sold out. Like, say what it is. Like, you won, high five, but you sold out, bro. Like, say what it is, and you can't get mad at me for saying it. Like, where are the artists that, like, because again, like with the Katt Williams thing, it's crazy how many people are coming out. Nobody's, except for like the people who he directly went at, and nobody's responding to the direct allegations. They're trying to make light of it. They're trying to joke, but they're not as funny because, you know, Kevin Hart can't say the funniest shit he wants to Katt Williams, because when he's talking, he's on these big talk shows or whatever. Like, he's been doing a thing with Plastic Cup Boys. Like, you can't just curse freely on there. You can't say your mind. You probably can't talk about drugs and alcohol and whatever, like super crazy like that. So, like, even in your response, you're limited. But then on the other side of it, you have all these celebrities. I'm talking about Gary Owens. I'm talking about Boosie Badass, Tiffany Haddish, Dave Chappelle. Like, all these artists who are considered purists in their art forms coming out and be like, yeah, no, this nigga Katt solid. Like, I don't, and if there is, like Gary Owens specifically said when we start, because DJ Vlad was interviewing them, and Vlad's good about like asking, yo, what have you seen? What have you heard? Like, he looks like he's on drugs. Gary goes, he's been such a good person to me. I don't want to talk on what it could be because I don't know. But all I know is what he's done for me, which is at any given point would have given me his shirt off his back and just done and gone above and beyond. Where for Kevin Hart, we hear, like, I've seen Kevin Hart talk about his journey, his Plastic Cup Boys and all that, but like, it's not as, it doesn't seem as worldwide.
And I think
I don't.
Even with Drake.
What's up, bro?
I think like the joint, I think you gotta realize, like, and I get what you're saying, Tete, but it's like, at the end of the day, sometimes you gotta be like, what's money worth? Like,
guys, man, Katt Williams' tour started in January. This is a calculated move. It's an interview.
I'm
It's
not mad at
sensational. Look at the tickets for Richmond on February 18th. $350 a pop to sit at the Altria Theater because it's Katt Williams, and he just had this great interview with. I mean, Let's be honest. Selling your soul takes many forms. This is the Kanye approach.
I'm not disagreeing, but what I'm saying is
like,
can you
they're
at least,
all celebrities.
Can you at least agree that a little bit of both can be true? Because
I agree with you.
Okay, cool. So I think that's what we're.
But I think it's harsh to say this person sold their soul to reach where they're at. Katt Williams literally sat there and called out all those boys. By the way, he's been doing this for a while on podcasts. This has just been on YouTube now.
But he said that he's been calling people bold-faced liars.
But I'm saying
because that negates your point that he's going on tour.
No, but I'm saying
he has been saying this shit for years. Katt Williams always popping up and telling us. This shit is.
An interview on Club Shay Shay right before your tour is what he does, and he's done these same types of sensational sayings on interviews, on radios before tours. Like,
I think
it's marketing.
Just because a nigga's using it for marketing or promotion doesn't mean it's not true. And what better way to use shit for marketing or promotion?
I'm saying,
then
what is the truth, though?
What is the truth? What is the truth? Is
Kevin Hart's an industry plant? That's not true.
No. But Kevin Hart has sold.
But that's not an industry plant. What he said.
I disagree with you. I disagree with you.
Listen to the interview. He said.
I did listen to the interview.
He said, whenever you ever, before Kevin Hart became big, whenever you ever heard of Kevin Hart having a sold out show, he just one day had movies.
What he said was Kevin Hart was an artist who started on the East Coast. When have you ever heard of an artist started on the East Coast come to the fucking West Coast and the first thing it comes out with is a goddamn
because
movie?
When Kevin Hart first came out, when
a TV show that fucking flopped.
When Kevin Hart first came out, the man was the talk of the fucking town. Like, that's all we talked about growing up.
What are you talking about? Because I remember when Kevin Hart was very small.
No. When he first came out, when he first came out, and when Kevin Hart was big, I was probably in my maybe sophomore year of college.
Bro, he was. How old were you in? How old were you in 02?
How old was I in 02?
Yeah.
Shit, I was 16 probably.
He had this
17.
movie called Paper Soldiers. They used to come on BET all the time.
No. I'm not talking about that Kevin Hart. I'm talking about 04, 05, 08.
I'm talking was Soul Plane. You remember Soul Plane?
That's
the Big House, bro. That.
No, Soul Plane. Yeah, Soul Plane was 04, and that was like, oh shit, that nigga's funny as fuck.
Dog.
He had stand-ups that remember YouTube was showing a lot of his shit.
Niggas, hold up. I agree that the industry plant statement was hyperbolic. I agree that. But
I also remember when Katt Williams was bigger than Kevin Hart, and Katt Williams was that guy.
And at the time, they didn't have beef
because he was that guy.
No.
And he had the opportunity to be Kevin Hart
was also funnier. But that's the thing. Kevin Hart, like,
no.
What are you talking about? During that run, that's when Kevin Hart was funny.
No, he was funny as fuck. But Katt Williams was always the funniest guy. I'm not gonna take that away from him.
But I'm not
gonna take that away from him.
No, what I'm saying is
a crazy drug addict.
Hold on. He's funny as fuck.
Let me get this out. You're saying they didn't have beef because Katt Williams was that guy. I'm saying, and also Kevin Hart was a different type of comedian. Like, he was actually putting in work and being funny.
No,
when Kevin Hart got to that level, he stopped being funny. He sold out. And now I'm not also saying there's not a little bit of bitterness, there's not a little bit of jealousy. You don't have Katt Williams being as funny genuinely as he always been, so he's gonna put some sauce on it. But he'll put some sauce on it, but also the sauce wouldn't really taste good if it was on just a bunch of lies. No, the sauce tastes good because it's on some shit that we've all been thinking for a while now.
Listen,
especially at a time
Katt
when
Williams,
so much shit in Hollywood is coming out with these niggas.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Low key being in the sex cabal, bro.
Katt Williams has the opportunity to revitalize, revamp, have a second amazing career. Let's see if he takes advantage and what that looks like. When he gets big as fuck and he starts doing shit that you deemed weird today, or sell out today, we shall see.
Bro, he's already blackballed from the industry. And the other thing too about Katt Williams,
why is he blackballed?
The other thing too about Katt
Williams,
why is he
blackballed? Tell me why.
A variety of reasons. He pisses everybody off. He pisses everybody right now in comedy. Black comedians who have the ability to reach back and put niggas on have already chosen sides.
Money matters. If his tours sell out at $350 a pop for the cheapest seats, he continues to climb,
he's gonna be putting Think Like a Man 3.
We'll see. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying success gives you the opportunity to sell out. The more success you reach.
The last role he got, it had to be a fucking homegrown role with Childish Gambino, where he did won a fucking Emmy for.
But that's not a sellout role.
No, he won an Emmy for that shit.
He did great.
That's what I'm saying. He still got it.
But that's not something. That's not a show or an episode or anything that reaches a wide mass of people. Like, you know that.
No. But what I'm saying is the talent is still there.
I think
The talent is that's
the
my
talent
point. And it's gonna be more successful.
And it's funnier than the majority of the shit these other niggas that he's going at putting out.
I agree with you
For years.
I agree with you.
What is the last movie
But I'm
Kevin Hart
saying
put out that was good?
I'm saying there's going to be a point where Katt Williams will get so successful that he will sell out.
That's
we will see.
I don't think he'll be that successful.
He's not blackballed because he was mean to some people. That doesn't make any sense.
What I mean by blackball is that
he's not going to be blackballed.
These niggas in this comedic space.
He sold out the first night.
Clearly.
Exactly, bro. Like
What I'm saying is, I think like one point I'll make is like I love what y'all said. Like the talent, it's beautiful to see the talent still there, clouded through everything he's done, and I think like. You know, he's that guy. I think like it's the best way is like he was that star basketball player in high school that everyone knew was better.
No, he's bigger than that, man.
But then the guy, like the thing is, like
he's Chappelle.
Nigga.
Like he was at the cusp of great success and decided to fucking
trick it off,
walk away.
I don't think so. Katt Williams. Was a star in the comedic space, but Katt Williams never had.
No, he was a giant, bro. The man was funny as fuck.
Yes, he was funny as
fuck.
But
I think it was like
the nigga
he
never
had a predominantly black audience.
The nigga never went movie star. And it never had like a feature film that was surrounded by.
And it's not by choice.
Never had a show that's surrounded by him. But I think there's a lot of things.
And why is that? You're saying because he walked away and didn't want to sell his soul? Because he did drugs.
Because that's a piece of it. I think
that's
we don't know for a fact. We don't know for a fact. You have to Google that and find the fucking convictions, bro. What I'm saying is this:
the nigga, he fought a kid on YouTube.
We know
he fought a 14-year-old on YouTube.
For a lot of
Come on, don't do that.
For a lot of roles, niggas had to make certain decisions. We've heard this, and we'll get into this question because I have a conflicting opinion on this. But the whole idea of black men having to wear dresses to be funny in movies, or to get into certain movies, or to have a humiliation ritual. I'm not going to sit here and say I believe that to be the case, but I do believe that there was a time in Hollywood where a certain genre of humor was funny. You had to be okay to get a certain movie greenlit, and that's what we see with a lot of different movies. And if you're not comfortable with that shit, nigga, you weren't in the fucking movie.
And I'm gonna tell you one thing I'll say too, because I'm about to dip because I gotta go drive to New York tomorrow.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
it's already 10:30.
Yeah. And the one thing I'll say is, comedy's hard. All of it's hard to break into, but we know there's been a lot. I'll give Kevin Hart this. He's coming, like he has been able to stay in longevity. It's a gift. I always say, I'm about to go see Drake. I just want to see Drake because like.
You guys are forgetting that even in your own respective careers, okay? Nursing, social work, like even in those careers, okay? Me and Jabari, we're travel nurses. We consider ourselves true to the game, right? We're in the trenches. We have patient access. We talk to the patients at ground level. I want more money. I'm tired of making X amount of dollars and doing all the work. What do? I go into admin. Right? Now, to the ground level, folks, I am a sellout. Because now I'm telling you, hey, triage is not working properly. You need to do this and that. But I'm not here with you anymore. I've reached a different pinnacle in my career field.
I agree.
This is what it looks like. Success is selling out.
Yeah, but I think it's different because it's an art, too.
No. It is different because it's art, but also would you not say there's different ways that you can act, not manage a role to make it seem like
there is not different ways because you're under pressure by different forces.
You don't see a difference between managers, CNOs, or whatever you want to call them, who in times of strife, in times of we have 50 in the waiting room, we have every bed made, we're down 2 nurses, and the one who shows their face and just passes blankets is looked at differently from their staff than the one who walks down and says, damn, Joe, you guys know you can't come off red.
You're still thinking small because
I'm not thinking
that's manager. Manager.
I'm not thinking
the
small.
CEO. If I went from nursing to CEO, I'm not going to be that.
Let me get this analogy off, and I want to really get off this point because again, I feel like we're saying all the same shit. We just have little differences in our opinions, but it'd be the same thing as Katt Williams being storied as somebody who's given back at every corner and put plenty of comedians on, and Kevin Hart, who's had maybe more so of an opportunity to do that, not doing it to the same extent. That's all I'll say.
They came from.
I'll say-
in fact, Katt Williams comes from a better environment or family than Kevin Hart did, for sure.
To finish up, all I'll say is, it's interesting how we live in a time where it seems like every day we get another story about how people at the highest heights of power in whatever industry are abusing it. And not just abusing it in ways to make themselves slightly richer or give their kids a little more opportunity, but like are using it to take advantage of people to such a rate that seems unfathomable to us little people. So when a nigga comes out and has been saying some shit that he's been saying for years and also kind of fits the narrative, it just doesn't seem crazy, even if the nigga himself seems a little crazy. Because at the end of the day, would you not be a little fucking crazy if you had integrity and you were living through this self-proclaimed
he's the only
hellscape?
one. He's the only one that has integrity because no one else is saying this.
No, I mean, you see Dave Chappelle, like right now people are calling Dave Chappelle a right-wing whatever because his whole shit on transgender issues and his whole shit in general
But he's not talking about the industry. The only one thing Dave Chappelle ever said was he was on the Chappelle show.
Yeah,
some white people laughed at him, and he thought that was very personal.
Dave Chappelle said when he was going in for the third season of the Chappelle Show, or was it fourth season? I think it's fourth season.
Yeah,
they were talking about skits, and he started to get the feeling that it was no longer.
But that's
them
the
laughing
only
with
thing.
Me and them laughing at
That's
me.
what I'm talking. That's what I just said.
What are you talking about? That's the only thing.
That's the only thing that he ever said about the industry. Now the new Dave Chappelle that we see now before us on the Netflix specials is completely
he talks about
industry list.
He talks about cancel culture in multiple of his statements. He talked about the Kanye West cancel culture. He talked about who was the nigga that was masturbating
because
with his
he's
female.
experienced cancel culture though.
But cancel culture based.
But that has nothing to do with the industry.
It has everything to do with the industry because the industry only cancels certain things and certain people, while other people get second chances again and again and again based off of how much some of them are willing to kowtow.
But Dave Chappelle is one of those people. He's been canceled by the LGBT community multiple times, and he's back on Netflix again and again with a special.
But what I'm saying is simply industry in the sense of people and their compatriots and their peers. There is a different level of what some people are willing to do and others aren't. And based off of what you're willing to do allows you to get to certain places, which some people who consider themselves to be purists in those art forms would call them sellouts. And again, like being a purveyor of the comedy space and watching a lot of interviews with different comics, this seems to be something that is well known.
I just don't agree with negative connotations for success. Like selling out when it's rising in your career, that's just a very negative way to put it.
I don't necessarily,
and I don't agree with that because if I wanted to become a doctor,
I don't necessarily
and tell nurses what to do.
Call it that because again,
that doesn't make me a sellout.
In the analogy of Drake being shit on by Yasin Bey, the person that they use to counter your argument of saying you don't just get killed for your success, it's just to get to a certain level of success, you do have to shed some of your integrity, is Kendrick Lamar. Somebody who has not shed a shred of his identity, a shred of what he cares about politically.
But he's not as successful as Drake. But he's way better.
There's a level of...
There's a ceiling. That's what I'm telling you.
But again, so if there's a ceiling of success you can get to, that in my opinion, and what I think we're saying, you have to break through, you have to shed a bit of your integrity, a bit of your soul.
I mean, I don't know if I call it that though.
Okay,
I feel like
that's the argument that I'm making.
You have to do things like water down your message.
The argument that I'm making is now.
You have to compromise. I'll say you have to compromise.
But listen, that compromise is different for a lot of different people, especially on what that compromise is. Where I'm saying right now,
and my point is, it doesn't matter what those people think.
About something. Kendrick Lamar's music has a level of high vibrating chakra that Drake's music doesn't have.
I know.
For Kendrick Lamar to get to that Drake level, he would have to lower that chakra frequency,
and that's fine. And that's fine.
Non-integritous,
and that's fine. And Kendrick Lamar won't do that because he doesn't want to. Drake wanted to.
And what we're saying is
wanted to.
That's an
But dropping your level, watering down your message, refusing to say certain things to reach a wider audience. That's not selling out. That's just changing what I want to talk about, changing my subject matter so I can be more successful.
Selling out, especially if you owe your success and you owe your entry into whatever art form you are in based off of the community you came from. But not
then
even,
we'd all be. Then Jay-Z wouldn't be a billionaire. Then I mean.
But do you think? No, but even Jay-Z is a specific example too, because like Jay-Z, even in his art form when it comes to rapping, he hasn't necessarily sold out. Like his last was 444 the last album.
Yeah.
It was a cultural album. It was an album drenched in integrity. Like he was speaking about real subjects. He wasn't just talking about
But if you look at his
bullshit.
past projects, it's watered down message.
It took evolving. It took different levels of growth, and also
Kendrick Lamar, last time we talked about therapy.
behind the scenes, people would say that Jay-Z was doing things that seem very integritous while also still managing to reach different levels of success. Same thing with Beyonce. Like they don't. And again,
Jay-Z aligned with the NFL.
They also have, but he aligned with the NFL in a way that was supposed to be some type of outreach to help African American communities. Again,
That's what I'm saying. Like
you could say whatever you want, but optically wise, it looks like he's still trying to use whatever.
So he has a good publicist. Like, what's your point?
Be integritous to his goal.
He has a good publicist. That's it. Like, bro, like they're doing things that directly conflict with certain things that the culture says that you can't do.
And again too,
it's like
but again too, I would call the NFL a different situation. Whereas personally, me and you have our own thoughts on it. But at the end of the day too, like the NFL situation was deeper in the fact that you still have black players playing. There was a whole lot of contention on the issue. So I don't think as a culture specifically, we can say we were all like, no, you shouldn't work with the NFL. Me and you of the culture were saying that, but there was a lot of niggas throughout the entirety of that bullshit that were like, what the fuck are y'all talking about? So again, I mean, we can agree to disagree because we've spent now an hour. We've spent a good amount of time on this. I personally,
I feel like we're putting limits on our people, and it's stupid because of cancel culture. Because you can't be successful. You can't be as big as the stars without being worldwide.
Okay, no. You want to have the last word? Or you want me to have the last word? Because we're going to have to agree to disagree. So I'll say what I'm going to say, then you can say what you can say, then we're going to move on. Basically, what I'm saying is, unfortunately, in the reality that we live in this space where, again, we just said black and brown people are more hated, are more discriminated, have more issues that we face collectively as a people throughout the world, we don't necessarily always have the necessity to just parlay in lower chakra energies. In our art, in our profession, in our spaces of leisure, we just don't have those because at the end of the day, at every given moment, we're working against a system or a patriarchy or an overall world that is at war with us. You know what I'm saying? So it does seem like when somebody of our ilk gets to a certain level of success where they are fine, like they are good. Kevin Hart, if he stops tomorrow, will never have to work again. His kids will never have to work again. There comes a question of, so you just not gonna do shit that seems familiar to niggas no more? Because I'm keeping it banned, bro. Like, yeah, you are reaching these charts and you this success, but I ain't checked out a special in 8 years. I've watched the last 2 Katt Williams specials personally. They both, for relative sense, don't seem to be starving or poor. You know what I'm saying? So I would think if I got to a point where I was so successful in whatever career, I would be looking at integrity and legacy, right? I don't necessarily need a dollar amount to level my success. To me, maybe my success is, again, like Mike Epps did. I go back to my neighborhood in Philly and I buy the whole block and I renovate it. Like shit that niggas are actually like, yo, like that's legacy type shit. You know what I'm saying? When I look back at what have I done for, or what have I done for my legacy, I've got 10, 15, 20 different individual successful comedians saying, yo, when I was on tour making $200 a fucking a weekend, Kevin Hart or Katt Williams gave me $1,500 just for having a good set. Like, that is my only piece of it. It's like I just think like the success niggas are talking about isn't strictly centered around a fiduciary amount that at the end of the day bleeds back in to the capitalistic system that at the end of the day only takes and takes and takes and takes and takes and gives nothing back to any culture, let alone specifically black and brown cultures across the world.
And my point is, that's great and that's nice, but that's your perspective. That's your fulfillment. That's your need. Kevin Hart, a black man from Philly, should be free to say, I don't care about any of that. I want to make as much money as possible and do what I want when I want. Okay? And I feel like for us to sit here and say, well, you know, you're not making any specials for us anymore. You're just, you know, touching 70% of the country with Jumanji and Jumanji 2. That's just not fair to me, and I don't like you. Like, I just feel like, no, he's successful. He's moved on. If I don't like Kevin Hart, I don't like Kevin Hart. But Kevin Hart's going to enjoy these billions of dollars, and he will be a billionaire someday if he continues on this trajectory. And let's be honest, that's commendable. We commend that. And he didn't do it just by, you know, not selling his soul, quote unquote, or, you know, doing local shows, or making sure that he makes sure that he doesn't talk to white people or make things that are considered pop. Like, he did it by being pop and touching a giant audience. And that's what success looks like in his industry, or in his mind even. And I think that's fine. To me, that's fine.
You got something?
Yeah, I honestly feel like, in the sense of like sellout, I don't think Drake or Kevin are sellouts, in the sense that, like, I don't think for Drake culturally he was ever really like giving that like woke part of hip hop to be.
He is
like,
Canadian.
Yeah, like I don't think personally, like, I was expecting like that for me to like consider him a sellout. And then for Kevin Hart, I think he, like a lot of people of color or black people, like, you're gonna get that notoriety within your community first. But then if you can get that chance to break through to get all that money that you can, you will. And I think he was just that, like, using that. But black people particularly thought, oh, you were for us, you were gonna be. No, he was just trying to get to the top.
Yeah, and I feel like,
because I don't.
maybe that sucks, but that's also okay.
Yeah, and I mean,
you know.
Yeah, and
like,
I just don't expect anything from either of them.
Like, there's enough holding us back. We shouldn't hold us back with our own expectations of everybody else.
So again,
yeah,
we can move on, but I'll just simply say, black people aren't a monolith, and in the idea of what I'm talking about, I don't think anybody's looking to celebrity or these two celebrities to do anything specifically for the culture. Nobody's looking at these niggas like Martin Luther King. But there is an idea that we are always talking about a collective identity and what we do for one another. And simple as to say, like, it's just interesting to me how pervasive the American individualistic dream is a lot of times. Once we start getting into the upper echelon, because even the upper echelon, they still have these et tu, brute moments, you know? Specifically talking with Taraji P. Henson and Oprah Winfrey. And like, okay, you guys are both black women, one's now a billionaire, and you have a black woman still questioning, why the fuck am I getting pennies to the dollar versus co-stars? But all that to say, make up your own opinions on it. I am sure this won't be the last we hear from either side, Kevin Hart or Katt Williams. I'm not sure if Mos Def is going to speak again on Drake, because Drake is so veteran of this shit. But hey,
well,
it is.
Drake will respond in the song.
He responded on Twitter or Instagram already.
Yeah.
But some real quick hits, and then we can get some serious shit, and we can get out of here, because we did spend fucking 2 hours bullshitting. Nicki Minaj dropped Pink Friday 2 after 10 years. Not debut, but a single, or what the fuck words?
What, charted?
Like
No,
Top.
like, what do you call a second album, or a second, or
a sequel?
A sequel. Boom. Thank you.
Oh.
Sequel to Pink Friday. She dropped 10 years ago. Classic album. All that good shit. So 228,000 copies first week, which is a lot of records. You know, they're bundling again, so I'm not sure how that translates to anything. But hey, good for her. 21 Savage dropped his third solo album or second solo album.
I think it's third.
Third solo album.
Yeah.
American Dream. To me, it was a little bit in stride with his most recent projects, so it was a good listen.
I liked it.
But I mean, again,
It's only his third solo.
third solo, but he's done a bunch of
Yeah, he be featuring.
yeah.
Yeah, he featuring.
Anthony
man.
Fantano said it best. I feel like 21 Savage has hit his plateau, and it doesn't mean it's bad music. It's just like he's not Travis Scott. Like I'm not expecting a whole different sound, taken to a different universe. You know what I'm saying? It's a good listen. It was fun.
Speaking of which, he did have a Travis Scott feature on that. That was nice.
He had a Doja Cat feature on there,
Which was also nice.
that had me going. By the way, did y'all see the Doja Cat news?
Yes,
Whoa.
we did.
What happened?
We did. Remember that discussion about the current Rihanna? Yeah, I think I was right on that.
Oh, wait, what are you talking about?
No, I'm just saying. Since we had that discussion, Doja Cat has.
Been punched in the face?
Oh, you're talking about that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought you were talking about the fact that she's headlining Coachella. First female rapper to ever do it. But whatever. We'll talk about the domestic
She's
violence.
the first female rapper to headline Coachella?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Amen.
Beyonce headline Coachella, and they were calling
She's
Beyonce a female
she's not a
rapper.
female rapper. But yeah, we'll talk about the domestic violence. I get it.
I mean, no one said Doja Cat wasn't talented. Just said she ain't for the fucking culture. I mean, she can be your queen. It's fine. She's hot.
It's not
She's
about.
hot.
It's not about beauty.
She's hot. She's talented, but that
And
bitch
she's not my
crazy.
queen.
But
She's
that
not my
bitch
queen.
got some Grace Jabari in her. That's all I'll say.
Grace Jabari.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
sir. All right. So, I mean, did you guys have anything on the Nicki Minaj album? I mean, I listened to it once. I like that.
I think there's a follow up album, like a little. Isn't there like?
She's released like a couple deluxes.
Deluxes?
Yeah, and there's one like with
Yeah.
Future, right? That
Yeah, the
that-
Pluto. The Pluto. one.
Yeah, that
Pluto.
shit is kind of
The
nice.
only-
It's trippy. I like it.
I've only listened to it all the way through once. It's very like pop, and I'm like good on that.
Yeah,
But
yeah, fair.
The Everybody one is good. The Fuck the Club Up, that's the one with Future on
Mm-hmm.
it. That Jones Heat. That's about it for me.
Okay. Kid Cudi released a new album. I didn't listen to it. Anybody hear it?
I heard one song. I didn't like it.
Jay Beyonce said it was very good.
Yeah, I'll have to listen to
Was
it.
it like what order was it in? Like was it like a random song?
It was just a random song. Yeah.
What was that bitch said? Do whatever.
I think it popped up. Like on one of like the random playlists because I like to do like a new playlist.
Like
Just
Apple suggested it.
like new music for you, and that's what came up, and I was like, oh shit.
Wow.
But I'll follow up and listen to the album, but I just didn't.
Yeah,
I like Cudi though. He's
Cudi's last project was good, I thought, but it didn't really hold up to the nostalgia of some of his older shit.
Yeah.
I'm more interested to see what Cudi is used for on other albums, to be honest, because that's where I've been the most entranced with his sound. But okay, we need a fucking song to close out with. But real quick on some news that I find very interesting celebrity-wise. Ali Lotti, does that name ring any bells to anybody? JuiceWRLD, how about that?
oh yeah.
Yeah, so Ali Lotti was the fiance, second girlfriend, public girlfriend, muse of the late, great JuiceWRLD. Since JuiceWRLD has passed away, she's had a very tumultuous few years, doing just a variety of shit. It has culminated into her having an OnlyFans page, and most recently of the last 2 weeks, advertising a sex tape that is old of her and JuiceWRLD
She's fucking crazy.
on her OnlyFans page. Thoughts, reactions?
That's some weird shit. What? How long ago did he pass? I need to look this up.
About 4 or 5 years.
It's been some time.
It's been a while. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Is there any higher level of Dirty Mac? Like,
You clearly
Don't give a fuck about that nigga.
yeah. And I mean, unfortunately,
Like,
She knew this was gonna get some fucking money.
like if she was your, because there's been a lot of reactions from celebrities. DJ Scheme said it was embarrassing. Adam 22 wrote this whole funny ass list.
I would haunt her kids, whoever, for the rest of their lives, because
No, but if you're alive and this is your deceased homie's girl, how hard are you going at shawty?
we pulling up to the crib. Like,
Okay. Yeah.
different perspective though. All these other niggas are making money off her,
What?
deceased fiance. Like how many JuiceWRLD collabs have come out since he's died, nonstop, and they're all making money off
What
this
the
nigga.
fuck that got to do with me? What the fuck
know?
that got to do with her?
That's what I'm
Let's
just
go
saying.
back to that
Let's
go back to that integrity conversation.
Let me finish. What I'm saying is, she's like, well, shit.
Nah, fuck that.
They don't care about him. I don't care about him. It is what it is. It's dirty. It's fucked up.
This is good devil's advocate, but fuck that shit. Nah. I'm looking at it like this, right? Two ways. One, let's go say what those other people are doing is wrong. Let's just go with that opinion. So, bitch, two wrongs make a right? They were the homie. You were supposed to, his fiance, this is supposed to be to death do us part, and even in death, I'm gonna honor. Like, you dirty bitch. Like, what's wrong with you? Because also, this started off with her getting a new boyfriend, and the new boyfriend starting to show up in pictures wearing old JuiceWRLD.
Clearly, she doesn't care about him.
Clearly, she's a dirty bitch. So here's two, though. Now we're going with the opinion that there's a gray area if posthumous albums, posthumous music is a good or bad thing.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying,
no,
but like
hold on.
that's the influence.
I'm just playing the devil's advocate, right?
Yeah.
If the deceased person was a musical artist and these people who are putting out this posthumous work were collaborators and have his best interest in mind, it could look like a Mac Miller situation, which his family's released 2 posthumous albums. Well, I know one full posthumous album, and then they re-released like his old mixtape to put on streaming platforms. But then they released music videos for his last 2 albums plus the mixtape, and it's just been a very beautiful remembrance of life. So I don't think wholeheartedly it's wrong to continue or to put out art that maybe the artist wanted out prior to their untimely passing. But
No,
for you
wrong
to,
or right, she looks at it as they're all making money off of him. I'm about to do the same. That's what it is.
see, this is why you can't fuck broke bitches.
But artists do it all the time.
I know, but like even a bitch that like, but like when I say broke, I don't even mean just financially broke. Like a bitch that's broke in spirit.
Morally broke.
No, but a bitch that's broke in spirit, like a bitch that don't want to work, a bitch that don't want to do for herself because like, what?
But that's a lot of
No.
the artists running into.
No. Let's keep it a band, bro. Like if you needed to do something, right? If you needed to, like she was down on luck, and she didn't do no foul shit yet. I'm sure you could have auctioned an item or found some type of way that like, yeah, it looks a little crazy, but it don't look like you trying to ruin this nigga's legacy. You know what I'm saying? Michael Jackson's family sold some of his estate, some of his apparel. You know what I'm saying? It's fucking oil merchants in the Congo. I was just watching the video on this shit. Shit's crazy. But to release a sex tape, nigga?
Yeah, because OnlyFans is getting you like.
What if it was some work I didn't want to? What if that?
$2 million?
What if that wasn't my work? And she's selling the video for $30.
Well, $30 per.
Yeah, nigga, but $30, nigga.
That's crazy.
Like, do you know who JuiceWRLD is?
She's going for volume.
150, like, you know what I'm saying? Just like,
She's going for volume.
that's like getting a Michael Jackson sex tape
That sex tape is gonna be somewhere on the internet for free.
for less than
That's fucking dumb.
for less than 2 4-for-4s and a large fucking Sprite from Wendy's, dog.
Well, how many prescriptions do you think she'd get though? Because I mean, if you do the math, it makes
It
sense.
ain't enough, bitch. It ain't
Even if she gets 100,000,
she's
that's
not,
$3 million.
She's not getting that though. She's not getting that.
100,000 people.
Why would 100,000? Because listen,
This is worldwide.
Once one person buys it, they put that shit up online for whatever. 100,000 people ain't buying that shit, bro.
All right. It's a video.
And
It's a video. It's a video.
And also,
we get 100,000 views on dumb shit.
Hey, if 100,000 people buy it, I bet you the estate's gonna sue her ass. That's revenge porn, bitch. They didn't get the fucking release this porn.
3 million plus something off of that.
No, go ahead, make all the money off that shit. We coming for every cent.
Yeah, no, I agree. But OnlyFans is a fucking
Coked out.
How did
There
I just money in the news? What?
Yeah. This is the bitch that was trying to tell niggas she wasn't doing drugs like that. She wasn't partying with this nigga. That bitch is lying like a motherfucker.
4 years after my bro passed, and she's doing this.
4 years after bro passed, and you're trying to show him beating up the cheeks for money? There's just like 1,000 different things you could have done. But hell, alright, let's get the fuck out of this bullshit. Let's get into the news, because a lot of things in the world have been happening since we've been gone, and our content is not lower chakra. We have lower chakra moments, but I do believe we can bring a higher chakra of thought, a higher level of entertainment to the airwaves. We are the most balanced podcast in the fucking world. So real quick question: who you voting for in the 2024 general election, my nigga? On the spot.
A fucking third party at this
Oh,
point. Independence. Who is it running? It's not Cornel West.
Nigga, it's gonna be Trump and Joe Biden. Joe
I
Biden.
mean-
You can write in anybody else you want. It don't matter. Well, no.
That
There's a
write-in.
plethora of people.
Marianne Williamson.
Marianne Williamson is one.
That's who I really want.
You did have Cornel West coming in. He was doing Independent Green Party.
Yeah, I might
You
write him
have you have Nikki Haley, who probably will still be willing to be written in. You have DeSantis still in that motherfucker. I don't think RFK Jr. is still in there. He's still in. He's still in there. Okay,
Yeah, he's still
RFK
in right
Jr.
now.
is still in that bitch. Even though the Epstein list dropped and he was on it. You know.
Yo, it's kind of been quiet about that.
Well, because they started doing again.
There's multiple drops.
Again. Not to take it back to the Kevin Hart shit and the Katt Williams shit, but there's just been a lot of shit that's happening that don't seem right. Okay, first and foremost, you put this nigga Epstein in jail and make all this hubbub about him committing suicide as if it was conspiracy of niggas killing him because they didn't want him to tell us anything about his associates, because this nigga was fucking kids on the island. Then niggas want to be like, nah, that was some foul play, but let's keep it a band. Like, there's gonna be a list that comes out anyway, so they didn't really need to kill him, so it probably was suicide. Okay. Then niggas are saying, damn, bro, you should see who the fuck is on this list. We got presidents. We got
Stephen fucking Hawkins.
Fortune 500 companies.
Stephen
we got
Hawkins.
Stephen Hawkins. We got scientists. We got celebrities.
What the hell was he doing?
Then hold up. Then we have it come out and says, but you know what? Not all these people. Not all these people were on this list for nefarious reasons.
Right.
Some of them were just associates.
Some of them are just some like.
Then I started hearing some stories that were saying, if you're on the list, it actually vindicates you. So I don't know what the fuck's going on, but all I do know, some of the juiciest stories that come out is the Stephen Hawking story that apparently, it is that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. If the list is supposed to vindicate you, why the fuck is the Stephen Hawking story from the list that we found out is that he likes to party with topless midgets?
What?
Yes, that's what the fucking list said. It was Stephen Hawking liked to party, like specifically with naked little people.
What the fuck? Yo, what's going on in the world?
We can sprinkle some allegedlys on all that, but this is what was said. This is what was said.
Like, nigga, what's he doing? Just
RFK Jr. was like, yeah, I was on the
can't
plane,
move.
but I was on the plane with my wife and kids.
The kids was there, bro.
I mean, let's be honest. If he can't feel shit,
RFK Jr.
yeah, RFK Jr. was on the list.
Wait.
And then he came out. He was questioned. And he was like, "Yeah,
Allegedly.
no, not allegedly.
Wait, RFK Jr.
Oh,
He's
he
dead.
confirmed. The one that
No, the one that's running.
for president.
Huh?
The one that's running for president right now.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know how it works. That's his name though.
Because RFK Jr. that I know is dead. Plane crash. Martha's Vineyard.
The rest of the family too.
Yeah, right. So this is also RFK Jr.?
Yeah.
Yeah, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. You haven't seen this nigga, right? You haven't seen this nigga?
He's a real dude, bro. He's really running for president.
Talks like Batman.
Is he?
He's running on the conservative side. So they're not the Democratic side. Now he wasn't. Well, actually, no.
I think
He
he's
was
like
independent. He's
independent
independent.
now.
He's independent. They're worried he's gonna take votes from Trump.
Oh.
Yeah.
So is he like a different RFK Jr.?
Yeah, I think. Nigga, nobody's. He's a Kennedy. Nobody like. It's. Listen, I'm telling you, it's
just popped up.
crazy. Bro. He just popped up out of nowhere, and then he happened to be on the Epstein fucking list, bro. I'm telling you, when you start really paying attention, that Katt Williams shit starts to look a little less crazy, bro.
Yeah.
These niggas are fucking kids. These niggas are stealing gold and cobalt from Africa and the Congo.
This is RFK? Robert F. Kennedy. Okay, I'm okay.
These niggas are smuggling
John F.
fentanyl across the border.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking. I was about to say, what?
Fentanyl. What?
What?
Yo, sorry, RFK Jr.
Yeah, that's what
I'm
I
thinking
said.
about JFK Jr.
Oh, okay.
That's who died.
and-
I'm like, hold up, what?
And you know what's so funny? Like, I knew what I was saying was right, but
Yeah.
like, I also hold that little sneaky suspicion that, not sneaky suspicion, but like, you do know more about politics than me, like, especially facts. So I'm like, okay, wait, are we being stupid?
No.
So I was giving, like, I was standing strong, but I was giving you bail. I was like, yeah, that's all right, yeah, Martha's Vineyard, yeah, whatever.
No.
Whatever, nigga.
JFK Jr. Okay.
Okay, yeah. So
Shit.
RFK was on the list,
Right.
but he wasn't for fucking kids. It was just for flying on the plane with a nigga that fucks kids with his kids. Take that with you with that what you will. Apparently, Bill Clinton's on the list, but it really does vindicate Bill Clinton. So we wanted Bill to be on the list.
What did he say? What did it say?
I don't know what it said.
Oh.
This is a lot of hearsay, to be honest.
So has anyone seen the list?
I don't. Did
I
the real
saw
list
some
drop
on
yet?
Twitter. There's still some
But
redacted.
because there's fake. Because like, has the real list dropped yet though? Because everything I heard was that the
There
real
was
list
supposed to
hadn't
be
dropped.
there's two lists that got dropped to my knowledge. I saw the first one, and it was a lot of people that I just didn't recognize. I was mostly looking for black people, to be honest. To make sure
Right.
The Epstein list, full list of names revealed in unsealed court.
$9.99.
So far. Prince Andrew. Oh yeah, Prince Andrew. David Copperfield. What a name.
There are some like, damn you.
Damn. Donald Trump.
Of course,
Hillary Clinton.
Bill was there, so yeah.
Alan Dershowitz. That was a big one. The prolific that lawyer nigga. He was on it. He's on it for like the wrong reasons.
Like they give you a reason of what they were doing, or like a
No. But like the hearsay that I've heard was like some niggas are saying, "Yo, Bill Clinton's fine. He's good. He checks out." But like Alan Dershowitz, like they're asking him, and he's like, he's fumbling. He's fumbling his words a little bit. Leonardo DiCaprio, but but like he's probably only there for like the 18-year-olds. You know,
Facts.
you know.
Wasn't he with like a group of like
Skates the
actors that was like
Yeah,
just like
yeah.
some like?
Ride the adrenaline. What'd you say?
Wasn't he like with like Leonardo like with a group of like other actors? I was just like doing some like the fuck are y'all niggas doing? What was it like? Tobey Maguire, Leonardo DiCaprio.
What's wrong with Toby?
he on it.
Toby not on the list.
Nah, he not.
Shit, but then like it's like okay, look, but like they got a lot of famous niggas: Al Gore, Richard Branson, Stephen Hawking, Michael
I don't
Jackson,
understand the Stephen Hawking thing.
George Lucas,
Michael Jackson be on the list.
and like, but it's crazy because they have enough names that you don't want to be next to on this list. Like, you know, you got Kevin Spacey. Like, you don't want to be next to that. Ugh.
I forgot he was.
Noam Chomsky. Ugh. It's crazy, bro. It's like this is like a conspiracy theorist's wet dream.
I know.
A redditor, a right wing terrorist sympathizer's wet dream, bro. Like
I told you. I knew it.
I
told you.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. Like, there's so much funky shit going on in the world, especially when you start looking at the wars happening in the Middle East and in Africa right now, that when niggas start getting into their conspiracy bag in 2024, I feel more inclined to listen. Just a little bit. Not to say that these niggas ain't on drugs, but niggas that are on drugs, they're already on drugs. And it's not like we're questioning them for why they're on drugs. They normally don't have a reason to lie. They have a reason to embellish, to make the story a little more grand. Instead of there just being 2 niggas with guns, it was 5 niggas with guns. You know? Instead of it being a QP, it was 2 pounds. But like the premise of the story was true. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Harvey Weinstein might not have come in there and said, "Hey, Katt Williams, let me suck your dick." But maybe he went to Terry Crews and said, "Hey, Terry Crews, let me suck your dick," and Katt Williams heard the story. Just saying, Terry Crews seemed like the type of nigga, from what he was saying, that he was allowed.
He said he was molested, right? By a big Hollywood exec. Listen. He didn't say that.
I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying. It's and when you be looking at what's going on, Jewish tunnels in New York City.
Yo, that was nuts.
No, those are. I'm not. No, that was a joke. But no, it's just like, bro, like conspiracy theories. They just all this shit just seemed a little too coincidental. Okay, but to get into some real world news, let's get back into our higher chocolate bag. All right, Epstein list revealed. Some of the niggas were nasty. Some of the niggas were just there apparently. But this is just another reason to warn niggas, be careful of your surroundings. Who you associate with will
come back to bite you.
Rub off on you?
Determine bite you in the ass, maybe.
It determines your life.
Why is that so sexual? But all I have to say, let's get to these Jewish tunnels under New York. Did y'all see this fucking story, yo?
About the apartment that there was a Jewish tunnel. There was a tunnel, and the people that came out to advocate for the tunnel not being filled were like Orthodox Jews, right?
So, long story short, what I heard was that in Brooklyn, New York, there were synagogue tunnels from Ashkenazi Orthodox or very extremist, or yeah, you call them extremists, right?
If they doing extreme shit, yeah.
But like the way they
digging tunnels is pretty extreme.
But the way they practice their religion is extreme.
Orthodox is what they are.
Yeah, Orthodox. But listen, they don't call them Orthodox Muslims. What do they call the Muslims?
Extremists.
Valid.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
That's a good point.
Radical Muslim.
Valid.
You know what I'm saying? Like
you're right.
This is some of that shit where like they were caught because, and here's the crazy thing about being caught. There's a question of how long these tunnels have been there. There are some reports that are saying, oh, these tunnels were built during COVID, and they were built as a way for these Orthodox Jews to continue their prayer when lockdowns were happening and they were refusing people from going to the synagogues.
That's still weird as fuck.
That's still weird
dangerous as fuck with COVID.
And COVID was 4 years ago.
Yeah,
that's you don't build tunnels under buildings there. 4 years ago. That's
and how did you build these tunnels at a time when people were quarantined? Nobody saw this happening?
Heard it happening?
It's weird.
And this is the story you want to give us?
No, I would have actually felt better with a historical tunnel. Like, these tunnels have been there for generations. Yeah. You know? Like, I'd feel better with that. We just mistrust government so much after what we went through in World War II. We dug tunnels.
Like we know niggas are lying. We're just like, what are they going to do?
That would have been a better story.
But don't do that. No, but don't do that.
I'm just saying, it would have been a story. It would have been a better story.
What I'm saying is, but don't do that. Don't say after World War II, motherfuckers. Like, we let y'all come. Now, granted, when y'all got here, niggas was a little bit. It wasn't niggas. That wasn't niggas.
Hey, all I'm saying is, yeah.
But what I'm saying is, they was over there. Don't conflate the two.
Yeah.
All right. Talking about the racism that the Jews experienced when they was over there. When they came here.
That was
genocide. Genocide, yes. All right. Don't conflate, our bullshit with they bullshit, okay? But what I'm saying is, It don't make no sense because the way that these tunnels were found was that over the 4 years, there were complaints from different people who lived on the first floor of their apartment building saying they were hearing people
Speaking Yiddish, dog.
No way.
They were hearing people under them. I'm not sure if they were actually hearing prayer, but how
You can't make this.
this
shit
is
up,
that
dog.
shit when we were talking about earlier. I don't was it on the podcast.
Maybe.
When we were talking about black and brown people experiencing certain levels of psychosis and how you have to. If you're not of that culture, you might not understand some of the things that might plague the mind of a black or brown person
Yeah.
in this country just based off historical context. This is that shit, bro. You imagine being a black or brown. You imagine being Kanye West and having your studio in Brooklyn, New York for the last 4 years, swearing to God, you're hearing the people read the Torah. And they tell you, you're insane. And then 4 years later, you find out there's Jewish tunnels under you, bro. You couldn't tell me there wasn't a conspiracy to take over the government and there wasn't blood, and these niggas weren't blood live. I'm just kidding. That's crazy. But somebody said it best. What a year. Or October 7th. What a span of 6 months for the Jewish people. Just a lot of bad publicity. Y'all gonna leave me out there on the limb?
Did you see?
Still not safe enough to get involved in that.
I'm not touching that.
No, but like I don't know where was it in the synagogue where they like kind of like the police were like breaking the wall, and they're just like pulling people. I get it's like out of the wall and just like getting zip ties and arresting them. Just like
so. Long story short, when the
motherfuckers
officers
were there?
went to go remove the people from the tunnels, it's because they did like a safety inspection and found out that the tunnels lowered the integrity of the building. Like it was a safety hazard, and niggas ain't want to go. They was flipping tables.
Yeah,
they was resisting.
Yeah.
As you said, they was popping up out of crevices because there was holes everywhere.
So fucking weird.
So weird, dog.
That's weird.
There's also like apparently some excerpts of because there's a competing idea that these Orthodox Jews, similar to Muslims, have a separation between men and women, especially when it comes to prayer. So like there was like bloody mattresses and shit because apparently sometimes women were on their cycles and they had to be separate from the men. And just
man, I want to be just like a fly on the wall and just like figure out what the fuck was going on. That's it.
shit niggas ain't had no business doing. Let's just keep it a band.
People, I don't want to say it.
Let's not get into a talk about extreme religion right now. Let's not.
No, I was gonna say like what the tunnels, like people were saying they were used for.
Yeah, I just wonder.
Well, people were saying like
prayer. That's what they're saying.
allegedly. I mean, but
What's the
alternative?
trafficking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mostly kids, of course.
Now that's a rumor.
Yeah,
Rumor
allegedly.
That's
the
dripped in. Some would say anti-Semitism because there's no proof. There's no proof of any of that. There is more proof that it was just a prayer tunnel and niggas were just doing crazy shit because they're also saying that these were, and to me they look grown. They look like grown. They look like some niggas in their 30s or 40s. But the niggas were saying that those are young niggas.
Yeah, they all look like grown men that like they were pulling out.
But listen, these are also the type of Jewish niggas that I don't know if y'all have seen the remixes where they be having their prayer and they be doing their dances and shit, like their coordinated dances. Yeah. And niggas will put like Future and like Chief Keef over them.
Oh yeah,
they be going hard. They be going hard. That might be the picture for this episode. I'm gonna gorilla fucking hoop. But
like the originators.
Yeah.
30.
Because like they wear the hats and the whatever. I don't know. It looks cool. It looks like it's a good time. But look, hate to be cliche. I just pray it's not. the sex trafficking, more evil things in the world, because this is just not a good time for the Jewish people, for that publicity, to be committing, to have a portion of a government that represents you on one side of the world committing a genocide, and then having a group of extremists on another side of the world trafficking people would be insane.
Yeah.
That would be.
And listen, it'd be one of those moments where, like, listen, it is still fuck Nazis to the day I die. But a nigga might have to sit out for a day. And just let the discourse happen. Just let the conversation happen. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh shit!
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But damn, man. It's still pray for Gaza, pray for Palestine. At this point, I mean, I think that the reports came out that the UN was saying that Gaza was uninhabitable. Since then, there's been American UK missile strikes into the Houthi rebels. So now you have, different Muslim countries. So we're talking Lebanon, Yemen. We're talking Iran starting to increase tension and actually like fire missiles back and forth, and complicated shit happening. A lot of useless bloodshed, a lot of unnecessary bloodshed. In my personal opinion, if I was a leader over there, I would be striving to end senseless violence and civilian death and casualty. But hey, I'm not. I am a simple orator. I'm a simple broadcaster. I'm just speaking to you how I feel. Because today specifically, I really want to get into some more black struggles across the world. I felt like we did a very good job of describing the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Last episode, for my content of the week, I actually have 2 resources that'll give an even better breakdown of the situations from people who feel very vindicated or very affected by these conflicts or this conflict. But the conflicts that I want to get to, I don't know if y'all saw. Clearly you guys didn't fucking see because everyone was looking at the notes here. But have either of you heard rumblings of pray for Congo, Dominican Republic, Congo, pray for Sudan?
Actually, I've done reports on these when I was in college.
Boom. So let's get it.
Same conflict, different era. Light has been shed on it because people are like, "Oh yeah, Africans are struggling too."
Fact. I mean, it's a similar issue to, when it comes to visibility in the Americas, that the Palestinian-Israeli Palestinian crisis has had, in a lot of Middle Eastern countries, where it's like, I think the difference with Africa, it seems, is that the terrorism that we see between these conflicts seems to be very domestic, you know what I'm saying? Whereas like Al-Qaeda, their terrorist acts to really bring the world's attention to the Middle East and what the fuck was going on there gave us more concern or care for visibility. Like, as Americans, we're very hands off from a lot of the world. We're very detached from things that are going on. But
yeah, the numbers are anything but domestic.
No. But what I'm saying, numbers domestic, I'm talking about American lives. Like, we don't have, a group of Tutsi or a group of Hutu rebels flying a plane into America to go make us all go, what the fuck was going on over there? You know what I'm saying? A lot of, I think
Palestinians didn't, or Palestinian government didn't attack a music festival here in America, but we still care so much.
But we care because it is much easier, I think, for Americans to sympathize with a villain in a conflict that has terrorists that look like the terrorists that villainized our country. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, I was doing a little bit of research on the Congo because specifically I've been seeing a lot of people on different news stations talk about it. And then I've researched Sudan because I personally seen a lot of people I know through JMU and other peer groups who are Sudanese and like who've been saying, hey, Israel-Palestine's crazy, But this shit is crazy.
Since 2004.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but like, and again with 2004, Israeli-Palestinian crisis, like it revamped again in 2005. But the difference, I think, with the Israeli-Palestinian crisis is when you had Al Qaeda, not just before the 9/11 attacks, like their public terroristic acts, because again, like some of the sources I was watching, they really shaped the idea of terrorism as what it is. Like, you know, if you simply look at it from an emotional standpoint, right, you don't take any theoretical or critical thought on it. You think these are just crazy people doing crazy shit for whatever. But no, the whole idea of terrorism is to keep your cause alive in the forefront of your oppressor's mind, right? Mm-hmm. So that was one of the ingenious things that the Taliban had perceived or like had gained the ability to do, was keep the attention of the American people, which I think aided in the intention now and the ability of like Hamas now that they have to do, like ISIS, Hamas have to do very little directly to the American people to keep our attention, because it's a villain that we are all too familiar with, right? Unfortunately, like in the Congo, they're black and brown, you know. Besides, what was that movie back in the early 2000s that talked about the
Hotel Rwanda,
the Rwandan genocide? Like, there's not a lot of cultural talk on the topic, right? Like of, Blood Diamond, I guess, is another movie that deals with different causes for a lot of the violence going on in these areas. But it's just I feel like there's very little for white audiences and just even black audiences who don't even feel a strong connection to Africa to like really like understand the brevity of what's going on. Like again, like when people don't even know the size of Africa, like it's so hard to conceptualize how big the Congo is. You know what I'm saying? Even for me, for example. But basically, and I am not going to be able to sum this up, I think, as well as I've summed up the Israeli and the Palestinian crisis, and Tete can help because he's done papers on this shit. There, you said it. But I did. That was a college essay. From what I gathered, within the last 100 years, there was a genocide in Rwanda. It was where the Hutus tried to and were very successful in exterminating, 100,000?
1 million.
1 million, yeah, holy shit. 1 million Tutsi, what? No, nobody's in that bitch. Tutsi population. The conflict only ended after Tutsi and the UN were able to oust the government, which caused the Hutu rebels who did the genocide to flee to the Congo. That led to Tutsi forces going into the Congo to try and eradicate the rest of the Hutu militants. But at the same time, the Hutu militants, with the help of the Congolese, were able to fight. And there's been conflict ever since, long story short. There's been a lot of...
This is back in 94.
There's a lot of government politics that happened, like brothers or uncles and brothers killing each other for power. And at the end of the day, one of the main problems in Rwanda, but then also the Congo, is that they produce cobalt, which is one of the main minerals that you need to create phones and other electronics. And
smart cars.
The governments of both, well, I want to say both Rwanda and the Congo, but mainly the Congo, are not democratic. And the people want them to be democratic, but there's just so many people in the Congo that it's hard to get a free and fair election to take place. And because they have not had democratic government for a large part of these 100 years, a lot of the money that's been made towards or with the extractions of this cobalt has been stolen, and the little money that has been earned from it has gone into keeping whichever military leader in power. Just to be honest, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's similar situation in not Lebanon. What were we talking about? What was another one?
Congo?
No.
Oh, Darfur? Sudan?
Sudan. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, on one hand, you know, it's tough because I feel like a lot of Africans, you talk to them from their respective countries, one of the main things you'll say, like, yo, what's, like, cliche, what can we do to aid Africa, or what can we do to help? It's like, no, we don't need y'all niggas help. We just need our government to get its shit together. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, it's very hard for your government to get its shit together when you have outside imperialistic forces,
Capitalistic forces.
capitalizing off of your fractured government. And so I think in a similar ilk to Israel, I think it is imperative that Americans educate themselves on what their government plays a role in these conflicts, and where we have to advocate as all we can do. You know, if our government is allowing multinational corporations to go in and pillage resources without paying adequately, or if there is a more effective way for them to pay and get these resources disseminated to the public, then we should do that, versus just multinational corporations lobbying and allowing themselves to do whatever unsafe or unhumanitarian practices they can so that you can get the iPhone 15. Like, come on, bro. That's where I'm at with the Congo so far. Missing anything major, hot topic, anything in that situation?
No, I mean, shit, you got the history of it down. The problem is, though, like, this type of thing, this has been a humanitarian crisis from jump. Like, you know, it's older than a lot of people, actually, right? Like, I think my sister was born in 92. This has been going on, you know, mid 90s. So, like, a lot of this shit is old. And I get what you're saying. In a sense, you're basically saying African conflicts, African humanitarian crises haven't sold their soul enough, so they're not touching a wider audience. And in a sense, that's crazy, right? Because why do we care so much about the Israel-Palestine crisis? And the fact of the matter is because it has to do with Jews and Muslims. You know, at the end of the day, that's great, but all those entities have influenced Africa, have played a part in this crisis that Africa is going through right now. And I think that's the biggest problem. Make no mistake, like, Africa has the biggest humanitarian crises on planet Earth, and no one cares. You know, we care about Ukraine because they're white Europeans. You know, we care about Israel because they're Israel, they're Jews. We care about Palestine because, like you said, we've somehow made them an enemy to the West. But the truth is, people have been dying in Africa since the minute that white people stepped foot onto that continent. And you can go back to, I mean, as far as I can remember, the 80s when, you know, there was famine and AIDS, pestilence, and now in the 90s where there's war constantly, early 2000s war. You know, it goes unnoticed, it goes ignored, and that's why I have a problem really sympathizing with the crisis in Palestine right now.
And it's funny though, because a part of me wants to go back to our earlier conversation when it comes to the arts, and why you do see some individuals who consider their art to be higher chakra and not give a fuck about other bullshit just for success, for monetary value. Because when you look at crises like this and we juxtapose, okay, so you saw Muslim extremist groups forcibly put their issues in your face through these acts of terrorism. And we're not necessarily advocating for African groups to do that, right? But what's another way that the plight of the people that look like us can be heard? Well, why not through the entertainment of Black Americans or Black Africans or African Americans? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm again not going to a lot of Afrobeat artists or artists that or African artists that are in hip hop are from Western Africa, right? Ghana, Nigeria. I mean, Nigeria really, you know, they kind of corner the market on a lot of fucking.
No, that's a discussion to be had another day. I disagree.
I mean, the ones that I know is Nigeria.
But the best artists are from Ghana. I'm sorry.
But either way,
Anyway.
West Africa
They reach a wider audience. They've sold their soul.
have claimed hold to a lot of development and progress in these spaces. Now imagine every time they were in interviews, they were on stage, they were speaking on the issues involving their continent. You know what I'm saying? Because we do know that a lot of these countries in their governments have used some of the resources in their neighboring nations to enrich themselves. You know what I'm saying? So it's just kind of like, it's interesting because me and you, from our standpoint and our level of notoriety or our level of reach, like, we do what we can. You know what I'm saying? And I would hope that if this podcast ever got to a point where we were looking at $100,000 deal or $250,000 deal, $1 million deal, $10,000 deal, but there was a proposition that to get that money we couldn't talk about certain topics that we want to talk about, it would be a real discussion of like, nigga, is this what we want to do? Like, what's the point? Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
How much money they talking though?
But like
100,000 yearly.
But what I'm
I can
saying,
work part time.
But what I'm saying is, would that not cause some type of conflict in you?
I mean, yeah, absolutely.
And
absolutely, because I don't like to be told what to do.
And if it caused conflict and you took the money anyway, would you not feel like you sold a little bit of yourself? Like, you might be cool with it.
I would feel diluted.
Yeah, yeah, because you want.
I would feel diluted.
Yes, thank you.
You know, I would feel like a part of myself, but at the same time, I would look in the mirror and say, I did this because of X reason. This is what I wanted.
Okay,
deal with it,
fine,
nigga.
Fine, but we're not doing.
That's why I'm working for HCA right now. That's why I'm working for HCA right now.
2 hours and 40 minutes in, Joe fucking Budden said 4-hour podcasts are bad. You shouldn't have anything to say for 4 hours. So let's hurry up and get out of here. Yeah. Sudan, the crisis going on in Sudan. You want to give us a breakdown real quick 5 minutes?
The Sudan conflict.
You can give it a bridge version because that one seemed a little bit more complicated. Not a little bit more complicated. It just there was a lot of similar sounding names.
I mean, I can go back to like 2004 when, you know, the Darfur crisis first happened. That never really got truly resolved. And then fast forward to today.
Basically back in the day, back in the 1900s, there was a military coup of the government. That happened for a few different regimes. It was like there was a democratically elected government, there's a military coup. Then there was a military coup inside the military coup. Then somehow they got back to democratic government. There was a military coup. All up until they got to this one central nigga. Right? I forget his name. But he was the nigga that realized, hey, I came to power through a military coup. I'm most likely gonna lose power from a military coup. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go against the grain. Do things a little bit differently. I'm gonna create a shield around myself of contingencies in the government, mostly military, that are all meant to protect me through some way, shape, or form. This is where I think the Darfur come into play, which, as far as I know, are an out branch of a Sudanese village, and each village has like a tribal leader, warriors, all that type of shit, right? Different tribes, different warriors, and again, people think tribes and they go, oh, niggas, spears and shit. No. Remember, this is like illegal arms race, so tribes be having AK-47s and 4, all that type of shit, right? what this leader did, which I wish we could get his name. I should in the bullet points. I wish I would have done that. But long story short, the leader armed them to help them get rid of a rebellion in a certain other area of the country with his national military force. Basically, the nigga was like, "You guys did such a good job. You're going to personally guard me," type shit. And the way the nigga was making his money was that all the natural resources that the country was mining or collecting, he was selling and using 70% of the profits to feed all his militaries and give them capitalistic impunity. So basically, like America, when we give the Department of Defense a budget that they, or not a budget, just a blank check, and then the last 2 years niggas been like, hey, we need a budget, and the niggas been like, yeah,
and haven't passed an audit or anything.
We don't really do that. Like, we ain't never done that before. Like, why you acting different? Basically, that's what his government did, but nobody asked questions. It was like, oh, they want what? Give it to them. Give it to them. But that caused a humanitarian crisis in the Sudan, because when you give 70% of your taxable income, your domestic product, you leave nothing for the people. So the people didn't have, like, inflation's crazy, resources are crazy, the Sudanese people don't have money for food, water, shelter, all that shit. So like now shit's going crazy, and you get surrounding countries. Well, actually no, right now it's just in the Sudan. So remember how we said the Darfur or whatever? Their leader and then the leader of the national Sudanese military are like, these people are mad and they gonna come for all of us. We gotta get this nigga so that we can at least retain power. And at this time, the UN, the United States, the UK, a bunch of white countries are like, oh, this isn't looking good. Like globally, it's not looking good. So they are like, okay, we're gonna take this nigga out. So they take that nigga out and put these other two niggas in power. The problem is the Sudanese people are like, hey, we know these two military leaders. If you put them in power, they're just gonna do the same thing over.
Right.
About 5-6 years go by. What happens? Them niggas did the same shit. Did the same exact play. It's just two different leaders. Keep taking resources, giving it to the military, saying fuck the people. What just happened and what's happening right now is that those two military leaders, I don't know their fucking names, are currently at war. So they had like a unified government between them that was super, what's the word? Corrupt. Now they have a corrupt ass government that's infighting, and it is causing havoc across the Sudan. I'm talking people don't have food,
Civil war.
People don't have water, people don't have electricity, and then they're also having their villages raided, people killed, bombing, civilian death. Like they're just living in a war zone. But the war is of their own government. Like it's like if January 6th happened and the niggas got the nuclear codes.
Yeah.
And then it was the government fighting the crazy right-wing extremists in America, and me, you, and Tete are just trying to go to fucking work. And it's like, nigga, I just want some milk. Like, what the fuck is happening? Like, you know what I'm saying? All because niggas didn't want to pay their taxes. So.
But that's like the conflict in Sierra Leone, Liberia.
We'll get to them next.
No, I'm just saying, but it's all, Africa is full of all infighting nonstop. And between governments, between tribal groups, between brothers and sisters.
What the Sudanese people are asking from Americans at this time, other than to witness? I don't know either, so we'll have to come back.
I don't know what they're asking of Americans. Probably the same thing they've been asking for.
Aid, protection, UN aid.
Just for someone to give a fuck.
Shelter for refugees.
Maybe a social media post. I don't know. Whatever it looks like.
So we'll get back to you guys on that. But we just wanted to, or personally, I just wanted to bring a little bit of awareness to some of the global issues that I've been seeing on my social media platforms, educate myself, and also elevate this conversation, educate you guys. It's not here to bum you out because, you know, you are living in America. You do. I mean, honestly, maybe not, because we have a lot of listeners around the world. But if you're in America, man, you're probably safe. So it does you good to bear witness to things that are going around the world, so that when you do scribble down
Most
that
likely
pen
safe.
and vote for the corpse or the what would you call? I don't know what you would call Trump, because
The warmonger, the white African dictator, because that's how he runs his government.
Felon.
delusional. I don't know, delirious. The delusional and delirious. You
The
at least-
demented and the delirious.
You at least you at least know what you're voting for, I guess, you know what I'm saying? But that's oh shit, I don't know what I did. That's about that. Let's get into our health topic of the week, and then let's get the fuck out of here. Damn, all of these things sound very sad. If I'm gonna be honest, Apollo Hospital in India accused of selling black market kidneys. Like, I didn't do any research on that, but that sounds awful. Be careful if you're traveling, especially if you're traveling while black. This one's cool. The FDA approved stem cell therapies for sickle cell disease. That's dope.
It's a big deal.
And then the Smile Direct Club shuts down. That's like the Invisalign, one of those Invisalign companies.
The Invisalign
They still want
competitor.
everybody to pay too.
Apparently,
The competitor.
that shit was crazy because some of the testimonials after the shutdown was like, what the fuck? Like, I had paid for a full year subscription. I'm 6 months in. How am I going to get the rest of my retainers? It's like, that's crazy. But
Yeah.
did you want to give us your HCA story for your for the health topic?
Yeah. So I think, well, I guess exactly 13 weeks ago, I think we were on the pod and I told you, hey, I'm going to be taking a travel assignment with the Hospital Corporation of America, HCA. And me and Jabari, we were on the same page on this. Like, they're crooks. They're slimy. They're for-profit hospital corporations. Not that the nonprofits are any better, but they're for-profit. They do things that are very profity. And with my current life situation, I said, yeah, I know, but I need money. I'm going to go ahead and, sell my soul and reach this level of money making. I am here to report that they are every bit as you have good cause to take pause when it comes to these hospitals. The charting system is very diluted on purpose. The corporate structure is very complicated on purpose. Lots of bonuses and kickbacks for cutting back staff, for saving on supplies, for a lot of things that really don't make sense when it comes to healthcare because it's a conflict of interest. With that being said,
I see copays. Sorry.
yeah, why can't I see copays?
I'd be fucking, yeah. And the new Epic I got over in Huntington, I can see everybody's copay. Like,
Yeah.
And sometimes I say to myself, damn. you here for bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just very interesting because you would think that these companies run very similarly, but after working for nonprofits my whole career and then switching in 13 weeks to a for-profit, it's very different.
Damn.
But that's healthcare in America. It's a capitalist venture. You could be sick and dying, and someone's going to try to make money off of that. It's crazy.
Is this something you're gonna keep? You see yourself doing still? Or
Wait, how much money did you make?
Nonprofit?
My contract?
Yeah.
My contract.
And in comparison to your last travel contract.
Oh yeah. So as you know, contract numbers dropped.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, significantly.
I was looking last week or like 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. That shit was disrespectful.
Yeah. So
Like, I guess it's still more technically than staff.
Yeah. But HCA was giving like ending COVID numbers, but you had to join their travel company.
So we're talking like 25.
Yeah, about 25 weekly net, not gross. Weekly net.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, I talk net. When I do travel husband, I talk net.
Because net right now is 2,000.
Yeah.
But that's for like.
But Here's the scummy thing. Oh, go ahead.
No, where I'm at, rates I've been seeing net would be like 1,600. Like,
Ew.
Yeah, because like I've seen Richmond contracts are like 18.
Now, I will say, if I were to travel with my original company that was not under HCA's umbrella to an HCA facility, they would have paid me $1,700 net.
That's what I'm saying.
But HCA, now that
Spit on
they
that.
own the travel company and pay me like a traveler, treat me like a traveler, they pay a higher rate.
And it's just so disgusting because the crisis, the shortage, I've said juxtaposition like 5 times this podcast. It's gotten no better. All the nurses I work with are new grads or they're travelers.
Oh, it's gotten worse.
Yeah,
Healthcare's gotten worse since COVID.
bro.
10 times worse.
Niggas don't want to do this job. It'd be so crazy because I had a little bit because like whenever I start a new contract, I have a slight bit of imposter syndrome. You know what I'm saying? But as I've grown in the career, it's less and less and less and less. Especially as I go to contract after contract, hospital after hospital, and realize just by sheer length of time I've been in the career, you just nurse in circles around these niggas, bro. Like it's like,
Yeah.
it don't matter what you need me to do. Like this contract was the first time I had no floor orientation. Literally came in, did a computer day for, it was supposed to be 12 hours. It was like 8 hours. Then we came in, that was computer training, like PowerPoint shit.
Yeah.
Then we did an Epic training, which I've already used Epic before, but you know, it's always nice to get a little refresher because I was on Cerner. Last hospital contract. 3 hours because the homie was cool. Then we go to my shift. Normally, they do like a shift orientation. Now, I've had some orientations that were shift orientations that were short, like Rockfield. They gave me they said they were going to give me a full shift. Then they gave me 4 hours, and they were like, "Hey, can you take patients?" And I was like, "For sure." Because by that point, even though like the charting system was still new, I've never used Cerner before. I had already in the first 30 minutes, like we're doing what do you call it, report. I'm like, "Oh, what do you do? How you do?" Cool.
Right.
Let's go. Discharge, give meds, assessment. It's really all I need, nigga. Let's keep it going. Next contract, I got a full day. This contract, nigga, we get out to the floor, we get to the huddle, they're like, Jabbar, you in APOD.
All right.
This is 70 bed ER.
Damn.
And like a huge.
That's huge.
And a huge fucking. Just huge.
They're a trauma center?
They're a level 2 trauma center.
Damn.
270
And they didn't give you no orientation.
study bed
That's-
hospital. They said APOD. Nigga, I said, I walked onto the floor because they gave us a little like tour on our computer day. And the tour was like, y'all busy. Like 50 patients in the waiting room all hours of the night.
Yeah.
So they go APOD, nigga. I walk out. This is sober November, so I'm crying. I'm just taking it all in. Some nigga goes, "Hey, where you looking? What you looking for?" I'm like, APOD. Goes this way. Cool. Get there. Don't have access to the computer for the first hour. I'm working with one of the most neurotic nurses where I'm talking like, you know, I'm asking some questions like, all right, what's the code to the tube station? Bitch gonna tell me 2008. Okay, let's put in 2008. Nothing happens. What's the code? Because she's doing anything. Oh, because also, APOD was their fast track, and they didn't tell me anything about their fast track. So when we get over there, all the nurses who were there from 7 to 7 just got up and said, dipped.
Yeah,
No report, no
that's fast
nothing.
track.
So I said, I was like, but like, I'm used to fast track at St. Mary's, where it was like, I've done that 20 patient thing myself, and I'll give you a little something. At least I didn't see that one. I didn't see the one. This one's here for this. That was, you know what I'm saying? Because like, you get sick people in fast track. Yeah. So I said, what the fuck? Click on when I finally get access, I click on. Nobody's signing up for any of the nurses. None of the nurses are signing up for the patients.
No.
So I'm like,
I don't fast track.
how do I know what you're doing?
No shit.
It's all this, but this is all a learning curve. Now again, I'm 6 years in this bitch, so all it takes me is that knowing. Okay, so you guys don't assign no work. You guys just get up and do it, And after the third time asking this bitch, what are the codes? Because the code wasn't 2008. The code was 2008 pound plus some numbers. Okay? So I had to ask the bitch 3 fucking times, what is the code to send the blood that I just got from this patient up to the lab? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nigga, we 3 hours into the shift. I'm rocking, nigga. You could have sent the other nurses home, and I'm doing this shit myself. So all I'm saying is like, I'm not new to this. I'm true to this, and this shit's looking funny as fuck. Cause for the numbers they're paying, you would think they dripping with suitors, dripping with nurses willing to do the hard work.
Ready to go.
Nope. This shit's getting scary. But okay, content of the week. What y'all got? Cause we about 2 minutes 59 seconds. We getting out of here.
Fucking Jay-Z, the Blueprint one.
Okay.
I feel like that is a good hip hop album. Jay-Z, I think he tried to like give literally a blueprint of like, you know, his success across those like albums. So it's been on my rotation heavy recently.
Hell yeah.
Right. True Detective, Night Country, deals with racism. It deals with all the conspiracy theorists out there. It deals with a lot of that. So first episode was great. HBO, if you've never seen True Detective, it is really cool. At least the first season was. This season promises to emulate that energy, so check it out.
Hell yeah. My content of the week, as I said, is a little bit of higher chakra mixed with some low chakra media. It's Channel 5 news station with Andrew Callahan. They did an episode at a free Palestine rally as well as an Israel rally that took place after October 7th of last year. So those are pretty good watches. But yeah, guys, it's great to be back. It's great to have another fucking episode. Hopefully getting an episode out a month somehow, some shape or form, because the nigga is traveling in the West Coast. But as always, we love you guys. It's the bullshitting. It's the bullshit for your health podcast. We're gonna end with one song by Don Toliver, because that nigga is about to be a father, and we got some niggas that are about to be fathers, or fathers times 2 in the room. So we honor you guys. You guys are doing a great job. It is one of the greatest jobs, if not the greatest job you can have in the world. All right, but If I Had by Don Toliver featuring Charlie Wilson.
You should fall sometime. You should fall. If I had your love in my hand, keep it for us. If I had your love in my hand, keep it for us. I'm tired, baby. I'm tired, baby. Well, I'm patiently waiting for you. Well, I'm patiently waiting for you. Don't you know, baby? Well, I'm patiently waiting for you. Don't you know, baby? Well, I'm patiently waiting for you. If I had your love in my I had you in my hand. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. What would I do if I had you in my arms? If I had you, your love. You're beautiful. If I had you in my arms, come go with me, baby. I love you, baby. But I need you right now, baby. I need you right now, baby. Come and go with me right now, baby. I need you. I need your love right now. I need your love right now. You're beautiful, 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 love it, baby. Yeah, yeah. Get your ass out of here, child.